Hey, welcome to the podcast, JD.
Chad, welcome back.
This is podcast under the influence of second to last NFL edition, number 10. Yes, we've been doing this for
Probably 12 weeks.
probably 12 weeks. Well, I'll dive right into this. Start off with some corrections for last week. I said that both teams use the same footballs during an NFL game, just not during a Patriots-Colts game. And I was wrong. They use their own balls. So my correction on that, my bad. I had said the wrong thing on that. And you want to correct from last week or no?
Are we going to cover any more of Deflategate?
Yes, because I have a theory on that.
Oh.
I have a theory that the NFL just doesn't give a shit. That if you ask the NFL, why do you think they're not really, doesn't seem like they're really caring about this, as sensitive as they are lately about everything because of Ray Rice and because of the Adrian Peterson thing. Why are they not as proactive? I think that they don't care what happens to the football as long as there's enough air in it that it looks like a football. I really don't. I really am starting to believe that. Referees grabbed the ball, held the ball on every play. Referee touched the ball every single play.
Yeah.
They didn't have an issue with the ball size or the deflatedness of the ball. And the Patriots used different balls in the second half anyway. And you don't see the NFL like really being up in arms about it. You think they just come out and did something right away and made a statement, and they haven't said anything about it yet.
Well, of course not, because I'm going to go the opposite direction you are with that, because I think they're dragging it out to take attention away from all the other crap that has happened this season. Because the longer this thing goes, the less everyone's talking about Ray Rice, Adrian Peterson,
I think they're dragging it out for a different reason. I think they're dragging it out because they don't want to interfere with the Super Bowl.
If they didn't want that, they should have just been done with it and moved on already.
That's what I have a feeling.
That's what I agree. I think they should have just Monday should have been like, okay, we got all the evidence, we checked out a thing. We're checking out a guy who had the balls and went in the bathroom for 90 seconds, probably because he had to pee. Because a minute and a half to take exactly 2 pounds out of 11 balls, you have to know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah,
that's pretty damn quick.
I'm telling you, man. I have the feeling the NFL, even though it says in the rules how much it should be, they really don't care about football as long as it's comfortable to the quarterback. I have that feeling.
Well, Mr. Brady coming out and said his feelings hurt. Sorry, nobody cares.
It wasn't him saying that. It was Robert Kraft said that.
Well, his feelings can be hurt too.
And I completely agree with them. They're going to rake the team through the mud right before the Super Bowl. Then they're going to apologize. They should apologize to him afterwards.
Dude, it's just like the Cowboys in the 90s. 50% of America loves them. The other 50% of America hates them. Let's get things livened up.
Why do they
Let's get everybody interested. If you even check out ESPN's coverage this week, 80% of their coverage of the Super Bowl from Arizona, 80% of that has been the Patriots this, Tom Brady that, Bill Belichick this. I have yet to turn on ESPN at one point in time and see like solid Seahawk coverage. Like dead solid, like giving them the 2 hours they're giving everybody else.
They're also on the East Coast. They're going to show more of the Patriots than those.
Just because they're located in Bristol, Connecticut does not mean they're allowed to pick a team. They're supposed to be objective.
They're supposed to be, but this is the East Coast. I'm sure on the West Coast you're going to get very little of the Patriots and you're going to get all the Seahawks.
But ESPN is ESPN. It's not like they have ESPN East and ESPN West. I'm just saying.
I'm sure they have something. Whatever. Regardless. So I don't have an issue with the deflating of the football. As long as it still looks like a football and everyone's allowed to. I have the feeling everyone can deflate the football as much as they want. It's just that for some reason it's bad when the Patriots do it or they get called out for it.
Well, you know why they got called out on it.
Why?
Because the first time they played the Colts, one of their defensive guys got an interception and took the ball over the sideline as a trophy, which is customary. That happens. And for whatever reason, thought the balls felt wrong and checked them, and the PSI was low. And at that point in time, each team, after every game, gets a little list sent to them from the NFL saying, hey, what did you see that we didn't during the game? And they annotated that on that punch list that the balls that this guy had intercepted were underinflated.
Well, see,
and that's what got the whole ball rolling.
Again, I don't understand that point because with normal balls, they switched out the underinflated balls for normal inflated balls at halftime. They still had 28 points to nothing in the second half. I don't understand why this is being blown out of proportion. You still have to play the game. It doesn't give you an unfair advantage, especially when you're using the normal balls and you're scoring more points with the normal balls than you did with the first ones.
It was a blowout. Do I think it had anything to do with the outcome of the game? Not so much at all. But still, if I maintain what I said last week, if somebody can get to those balls and do that to them, the Patriots security staff looks inept, impotent, just downright atrocious. And that should shine badly on them, because if you can't even protect 12 inanimate objects for a period of
2.5 hours.
Yeah, 2.5 hours for a game, how can you protect the fans that are in the stadium? That was my point. I think it had absolutely nothing to do with the outcome of the game. And Bill Belichick, or was it Brady, that said it was because of the weather?
I don't know who said that.
Someone said the weather is what caused it, the air temperature and all that crap. In order for that, and I'm quoting another guy, and I'll tell you who he is in a minute, in order for that to have actually happened, for them to depressurize by 2 psi, the temperature at which those balls would have filled, or at least the air in those balls would have had to have been 125 degrees. And I'm quoting Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson, so that's like probably one of the smartest men on the planet at this point in time. So if he's saying that, it's true.
Again, I don't have an issue. In 2007 or 6, they changed the rules saying that you could do whatever you want to the football. You can rough it up. You make it smoother. You can make it. You can do whatever you want with it. Make the ball easier to grab. And they lowered it, because it used to be like it's 12.5 to 13.5 is the psi. They lowered it. You can go all the way to 11.5.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that they said it's kind of like one of those things where, like, okay, let's say there's a rule in the NBA that you can only wear like 2-inch high tops, but some people wear 2.5-inch.
Yeah.
Because it gets more dunks and it gets more big time plays and it makes players look taller and stuff like that. They look away. And it's like, oh, we don't care. It's making the game more fun. The NFL has been interested in making offense better for a long time. Yeah, you high scoring games are better to watch than a low scoring game. So I have a feeling that they made the rule, quote unquote, but it's just a guideline. I have a feeling it's like a guideline. They don't really give a shit whether it's actually inflated to 11.5 or higher, and if it's lower, they don't care. As long as the quarterback is comfortable and can throw the football and score, they don't have an issue with it. Not to mention, even if it is inflated, they got 28 more points. So
yeah, like I said, it had nothing to do with the outcome of the game. I just think it shows bad for their overall security. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
All right, Patriots and Seahawks. Okay, next topic. Just kidding. Why? Other than you hate somebody. It's a dumb reason to pick something.
That's not the best reason to pick something. I mean, scientifically speaking, I don't know. I just think
I hate the Cowboys. I picked them to beat Detroit.
I don't know. I know that, but I don't know. Russell Wilson's going into it with the perfect attitude. He just said, I'm going to win a Super Bowl on Sunday. I'm going to win my second Super Bowl. And I like hearing that, because it's not really that arrogance, but that's just confidence. It's not that cocky thing. Oh, Monday morning asked me about a motherfucker. You know what I mean? Not that Richard Sherman shit. God bless Richard Sherman too. He's just been hysterical this week. And Marshawn Lynch, thank you for probably the greatest 5 minutes of television I've ever seen in my life. I got more out of watching that than I did Brady's 2-hour-long press conference. So thank you, Marshawn Lynch, for giving it to the man. I don't know. I just think the Seahawks D is just gonna pick apart Brady. I mean, they might get Gray running and start pounding it, but I think they're just gonna pick him apart.
Jonas Gray's not on the team anymore. That's all Garrett Blunt. He's not even listed to play. So
Garrett, okay, yeah, there you go.
I think LeGarrette Blunt will run all over him. He's gonna pound him. He's gonna destroy that team. He will get at least 100 yards. LeGarrette Blunt. Because to stop him, they got to play 8 in the box. And that's going to leave a lot of guys on islands. And Cam Chancellor, it's going to be a great matchup. It's going to be Cam Chancellor and Gronkowski. Gronk. That's going to be a great matchup. And then you got Julian Edelman. I don't know who's going to guard him. Because he's not going to be on the edge. He's going to be in the slot.
Yeah.
So I'm curious who will guard him. Dude, I have the Patriots to win. And they're going to win by, I think, 10 points. You have a score?
Seahawks by 3.
By 3. It's not very confident.
Well, they're not. I don't think Tom Brady's going to come into the game as underprepared as Peyton Manning was last year.
Here's the way I see it. Defense to defense, I think Seattle's defense is a little bit better, but Patriots defense is not no slouches either. They're a pretty darn good defense.
No, they'll pick you apart if you let them figure it out.
So then it comes down to the offense. Which offense is more likely to beat the other team's defense? I think the Patriots offense is more likely to score and move the ball on the Seahawks defense. Plus you got Bill Belichick, who's just an offensive genius, and he'll figure it out. He'll figure them out pretty quickly.
Well, I'll tell you right now. I would go out. I'll go out on a limb and say I got the Seahawks defense scoring 2 touchdowns.
I don't see that one bit. Tom Brady takes care of the ball way too much, way too well for that to happen.
He's been intercepted.
He has been intercepted, but not a lot this year.
Well, neither is Russell Wilson.
Oh, bullshit.
2 games where he threw 4. That was it.
He's done more than that. He has 16 interceptions on the year.
Really?
Yeah. When I look it up, I will, but he has 16 interceptions.
We don't have to be stat assholes.
I think that was actually before 2 weeks ago the game. Before the
Packer game.
I'm pretty sure it was before the Packer game.
Well, in that defense, not that they're fantastic, but they're no slouch, and they were able to pick them apart pretty well. I don't know. I got a feeling. I think the Seahawks.
That game came down to the coaching. I'll still say it this day. That game came down to Mike McCarthy being playing really passive, playing conservative, and not going for the jugular. The Seattle Seahawks will snatch the heart right out of your chest if you let them. If you don't go in for the kill and take them out of a game, mentally, psychologically, emotionally, whatever, they will come. They have enough resolve to come back, and they will snatch your heart out of your chest when you're least expecting it, and then you're done.
Yeah.
It happens to a lot of teams when it comes to them. Look at Arizona. Arizona could have played hard, could have played a good ground and pound game, and hung in against them. What they do? I'm talking about the last game of the season. They couldn't stick around. They couldn't hang in the game. They got their heart snatched right out of their chest, and then the Seahawks beat them 50-7 or whatever it was. That's just what they do, man. I don't think the Patriots are going to be that easily getting their heart snatched out of their chest.
I didn't say it was going to be an easy win. I just said it was going to be a win. I'm not over here predicting a score of 56-0 by halftime.
Damn it, they're under maintenance.
Flash fans.
Yeah.
So there you go, Schweitzer. It's all on the table now.
Patriots.
Pick your side.
I need to get a Patriots jersey.
Yeah, I would not spend that kind of money for something you're going to wear every 3rd year.
If I go to Shank and Tittle, they're still like a 70% off. You don't for $5.
Yeah.
All right, now that we're done with the Patriots. By the way, one more football thing. J.J. Watt, he's a lucky man. He's dating Katy Perry.
I can see that getting annoying after a while.
Katy Perry?
Yeah.
Well,
she's singing those songs while you're trying to nail her. I don't know. I just say. And if she's
I highly doubt she's singing during sex.
And is she doing that in the shower every morning? You know what I mean? Is she one of those? I don't know. I just think it would get annoying. She's pretty and all, and I do like some of her stuff. I don't know. I just
like
24 hours a day. No
boobs in her eyes are big. What they are?
Boobs and eyes. That's all she is.
All right. That is the fastest football segment we've ever had.
We've only had 2 teams to talk about. Well, think about it. Usually we could suck up an hour, but we have 32 teams to talk about. Even last week we had 4, but now we got 2.
2.
So, I mean, honestly, if you think about it, 10 minutes for every game that we watched.
Yeah.
We should have been talking a lot longer than we did, but we didn't watch every game.
All right, there's something else out here about football. We put some more time on football real quick. Your favorite team is the Packers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think? What do you think they should look for in the draft?
Tight end. A really good dynamic tight end. Either that or another a safety to complement Clinton Dix. Yeah, like it's either or, because that's one thing they're really lacking is a tight end, like a really productive tight end.
Well, they had one until he pinched an nerve in his back or whatever it was.
Hey, you know what? Hey, I ain't holding nothing against him. I'd have been out too. But that I see that as a need, and I think just boosting the defense a little bit more, because it looks like they're pretty good on the line. They just need to add a little bit more to that secondary. That's my thought and theory.
As a Redskins fan, God, there's so many things.
Quarterbacks.
No. God. Don't hate on. Quit hating on RG3. Offensive lineman is a huge need.
That would help that
quarterback.
But
yes. But we got a new offensive line. We got Bill Callahan from the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
He was our offensive lines coach this year. And so we might be okay on the offensive line with him coaching. We just might need to sign some free agents. But we need a fix, a real fix on that line, not just a coach or one guy. We need a whole attitude adjustment. In fairness to them, they have gone through 3 different offenses in 3 different years.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, and it's also rough on the quarterback. So I believe that the Redskins, I think they have the 5th pick in the draft, are going to take a big safety out of Alabama. Really good safety. He's supposed to be the next Sean Taylor now. If someone's going to make that statement, he better come in.
That's a hell of a statement. Yeah,
he better come in be like gangbusters and just be knocking people's heads off their bodies.
He better come correct.
Yeah, he better come laying the wood on people. But that's what I think we're gonna do. We're gonna get D'Angelo Hall will be back this year, so we have one good safety. Now, if we can get another one in free agency, that would really help us.
Well, you get that defense touted up a little bit. That would actually help the offense's productivity because they wouldn't be playing behind all the time.
Well, yeah. Well, see, and again,
I'm
know, and you give RG3 a lot of shit, but if by the first quarter you're down 10,
you're pressured to win the game. You're pressured to do something.
And honestly, their best offensive player, and I can't believe I'm saying this, I do like RG3, is Alfred Morris. But if you're down, you're not going to be running the football.
No, you're not. You're going to be winging it.
There's a lot of times,
or the quarterback's going to be running it, trying to run the distraction play to try to get out there.
And there's a lot of plays. There's a lot of times this year where Alfred Morris got like 90 yards rushing first half, but because they're down the second half, all they do is come out and fling it.
Keep ground and pound. You can still win by grounding and pounding. I mean, if you're down by 14, you can still pound the ball. You can still do it. But I mean, if you're down by more than 3 touchdowns, you got to toss.
Yeah.
No way around it.
Well, I think here's my theory on that. If you're down 3 touchdowns, depending on how much time's left. If you're in the first half, just run the football. Run the football, keep doing what you're doing, score. If the very next possession your defense gives up a touchdown, then you start playing the football.
Yeah.
This is proof that you're scoring and your defense can't stop it. So you need to score quicker. Get that. But there's so many issues with that team. But now that Dan Snyder has relinquished all right to have any say with the football team to their general manager, Scott McCullen, or how you pronounce his name, and he did build some teams. He built Seattle, and he built the Seahawks, or the 49ers.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
We will.
Well, I have no faith in Dan Snyder keeping his nose out of anything. I'm sorry.
Well, that's what he said. If any involvement, he's going to have to pay the guy a lot of money just to put his nose in. He has no say in draft picks. He has no say in anything. So, get out of there. What are you doing? I'm just trying to get this thing off. Okay, there we go. We already talked about our prediction for each division. Division. Anything else we can talk about? Who's the first overall pick? Let's say Mariota.
I don't want Mariota to go to Tampa Bay. I want Mariota to go to Philadelphia.
I would not see him in Tennessee.
I want to see him in Philly. I want to see him back with Chip Kelly. I want to see how that goes. I don't care. I still want to see it.
I thought you liked Nick Foles. I thought he was like the greatest quarterback ever.
I didn't say he was the greatest ever, but the motherfucker was productive as shit in 2013.
Yeah, whenever no one had game film on him. He threw 29 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
Yeah, 2013. God, football gets me all fucked up as the season ever lapsed.
Well, this year he was not that great.
No, he didn't.
It wasn't horrible.
Productivity.
They're better than Sanchez, but
the dirty.
And to be honest, Sanchez didn't do horrible this year either.
No, he didn't. He did a lot better with the Eagles than he did with the Jets. That's for damn sure.
It's because the Eagles have an offensive coach who knows how to coach offense. Jets play defense, and the quarterback just needs to not screw up, which he failed at. But his rookie year, he did go to an AFC Championship game, and his sophomore year.
When's the last time the Jets had a quarterback worth talking about other than gossip?
Chad Pennington wasn't a bad quarterback. He was the ideal game manager, but he couldn't throw over 40 yards. He was like Peyton Manning. He didn't have He didn't have a lot of velocity on the ball.
I'll give you that because they just can't. They couldn't seem to do anything, and I don't know if it was the general management, the ownership, or the coach. I mean, it could fall on all three. They just couldn't seem to do shit.
You talking about
when it came time to get a quarterback?
Talking about Jets?
Yeah.
Well, had Tebow. They should let him try. Geno Smith.
They could have let him try.
I think Geno Smith could be a good quarterback. It's just he needs to be in the right system.
I think Tim would have worked better in Chip Kelly's offense than he would.
Absolutely.
I think he would be fantastic.
Actually, listen to the first take. Stephen A. Smith's like, why didn't Eagles sign him? He's the perfect quarterback for your system.
He'd be the greatest backup.
Yeah.
Whatever you're doing down there. I mean, think about it. All right, in theory, you guys go out and you sign Eagles. Chip Kelly goes out. We get Marcus Mariota. All right, well, we need someone who did that, who knows that, who can back him up. Mariota's going to be our guy, but we need a guy to back him the fuck up. Go get Tebow. He'd be familiar enough with the offense. I know that now trust me, I've watched the SEC channel. He has gained some weight. He is a little, he's about that far away from having, like, a double chin. He should really, like, watch that. But I think he can get back in football shape really quick because he is.
You can blame that on the Jets. When he played for the Jets, they wanted to use him in running packages.
So
they told him to bulk up to protect himself. So you can blame that on them.
But what about that dude in Ohio? He's like what, 6'3", 270 pounds. Their third string quarterback. I'm not going to argue with that. I just would rather see him go to Philadelphia.
I don't want the Redskins to get him. I don't dislike.
Are we going to watch the draft this year and just like sit here and scream at each other?
I do. Actually, I think we should have a live.
We'll be doing a draft night special.
Actually, we'll buy Mike.
Thursday night.
It'll be a night thing.
We'll do it Thursday night, yeah.
We'll do it at his house.
It'll be a Thursday night. His house?
Yeah. Jesus. I watched the draft day last year.
We're just doing stage or first round.
Wait, we'll do first round. His house.
Yeah, it'll be Thursday night. Might be able to pull that off.
You heard it here. Coming at you live from the NFL draft from someone else's living room.
From Kitzmiller. Kitzmiller, Maryland. Where everything, and by everything I mean nothing, happens.
Apparently the Reds, somehow, something to do with Mariota.
Yeah, Mariota is being looked at by the Redskins.
No,
and he doesn't want that, and I don't want that either. Or someone's saying that somebody's.
What the hell would they do? Just listen. Go in with RG3, fix the rest of your team. If RG3 sucks the next 2 years, done with him. That's all you have to do.
Well, they're bad. His backup's not even that bad.
Make the rest of the team good and see how he does. If he sucks compared to how you're building the rest of the team, dump him. That's all you got to do. He's only been in the league for 3 years.
Okay? They haven't even given him a decent contract yet, have they?
No.
Okay. Well,
he gets $10 million this year.
What? It's the first contract's 5.
First 3 years you get 5. If you're like early first round.
The first contract is 4 or 5.
4 years.
All right. Well, so there you go. Let him run, see what happens, and then if he doesn't,
if the team around him is good and he sucks, this is kind of like we'll call this the Cincinnati scenario. If your team is really good defense and you got good offensive weapons and your quarterback chokes on a dick every game, you probably just need to get rid of your quarterback. You don't need to dump the rest of the team. But you paid the guy $100 million to be your quarterback, so you're stupid.
You're fucked.
Yeah.
And not the profane word, F-U-C-T, fuck.
Yeah.
Completely different.
Screwed would be a good way of putting it. All right. We've done 24 minutes roughly of sports talk.
Yeah, there's no point in discussing the draft till it's here. I am kind of annoyed that ESPN's already got McShay and Kuiper Jr. coming out there. We're like, my first mock draft. I love it. I really do. But it's like, all right, stop it. I'm not there yet. Let me finish the Super Bowl, and then we can talk about who's rebuilding for next year. I'm a huge fan of that. One other sports item?
One other. Go ahead.
Southern Garrett High School represent. You made it to ESPN's webpage this week.
Nice.
With a 3/4 court
shot by Clay Todd.
3-point shot by Clay Todd to win the game.
I used to coach that kid. I love that kid.
So, mad props to y'all for doing it. Your AD.
Did you see it?
I'm the one who put it on. Well, I'm not the one who put it on Facebook. I tagged it, and I'm the one who tagged it. #Top10, #SportsCenter. I talked to the AD personally. I'm not going to mention his name, but SportsCenter got a hold of him because they were seeing some hashtagging going on. So to me and everyone else who did that out there in Twitterverse, Facebook land, or phone calls, emails, etc., good for you, because these kids need some recognition, because we see that shit all the time on ESPN, but we never see it here. So now we're seeing it here. And if ESPN was running a top 10 this week, which they're not because they're too convoluted with Super Bowl coverage, I'm sure it would have been on there.
There's one a couple years ago that was amazing. Girls game, when Southern girls won their first state title.
Did it make it?
Yeah. No, I don't know about that. I need to get a hold of the video because I want to put it on YouTube. What it is sum it up real quick. They're at the foul line. There's 3 seconds left. Okay. They make a free throw, go up by 1. The girls make the free throw, they take it out of bounds, they throw it in. One girl takes one dribble, throws it to another girl. The girl turns at half court, takes one dribble, chucks it from her hip. Swish. Okay. Swished it. The tripod that the video is on. Okay. It was it goes. Like you can almost hear the nets. It was so quiet in the place, and the whole place shook so much, like the whole stand just erupts, and the tripod shook and fell over. That's how awesome it was. Oh. Now, unfortunately, there wasn't a lot of people at the Southern game. Yeah. I watched that. There wasn't a lot of people at the Southern game.
But what would you say, Chris? What was his kid's name?
Oh, Clay Todd.
Clay Todd.
I used to coach him. He's a great kid.
Let's keep in mind the team that they were going against at their home court had rebound or put the ball back into play, and it ended up in his hands.
Yeah, he rose up, caught it, stole it,
and just
chucked it from there.
It could be. I'm
going to go with a bank either. It was a swish, wasn't it?
Nah, it rimmed. It rimmed.
Still.
But it doesn't even matter. 50% skill, 50% serendipity. It went in. That's all that matters.
Awesome.
And the game was tied at that point, and that put Southern up by 3 points. Boom. 54-51 final score there. AD was thrilled. He was also my cousin, I might add, but I'm still not telling you his name.
Yeah, let's keep his name out of this.
But he did get an email from ESPN saying, "Hey, is it all right? Can we do this?" So, boom. Everyone who did that.
It'd be better if they got the film from him, because the one on Facebook.
I think they need his approval.
What I'm saying is if they contact him, they can contract the coach, Coach Tom, and they can get the actual game film, which will probably be a much better angle.
Well, it's already up on ESPN.
I know, but that was filmed from someone's phone. I know the kid that filmed it. His name's Todd.
Oh, so
not Todd.
We actually got some decent film.
Yeah, that's from a guy going like this and filming it. I know the kid. I coached him also.
It's still cool.
He's the one that posted to his YouTube account. But if they contact, I'm not gonna say his name, the athletic director, who's also one of the coaches actually.
Yeah. Well,
if they contact him, they can actually get the game film where you got the overtop looking down on the court view, which would be a much better angle.
Oh yeah.
So that's what I'm talking about.
Better angle.
That's what I'm saying. So
hopefully they AD get on that. Do that footage. Actually, I'm going to text you right now and get your head out of your butt.
Okay.
Twitter just tagged me in a post.
Yeah, he tagged me too.
I really want you to pat me, but I also kind of want to bite you. Nice.
That's cats. Cats for you. Anything else? Football.
Actually, I was going to let the fans know what they need to check. And if you're going to YouTube to check it out, if you can't find it on SportsCenter, go to Southern High School Game Winning Buzzer Beater. Put that in your search bar on YouTube. Hit that link. Boom. There it is for you to check out for all the glory.
We don't get a lot of recognition in this county, so it's good to get some.
So
that's awesome.
Good. But thanks to everyone out there in Garrett County land that actually went out there and hashtagged it, because that's how ESPN finds this shit out. They do have guys that come through YouTube and come through this crap every day. But if you post that link, email them, call them, hashtag it or tag it, that gets it to them a lot quicker. So if you guys see something outstanding in your sports world, do that for these kids, because it gets them a little bit of recognition, and that makes them want to play more, and we need that. Yeah, I have cats.
Yeah.
That just helps
reward
the kids, and they need it. And if you're watching this and you're in another backwoods county that no one's ever heard of before, you got to do that for your kids. If you see an awesome wrestling move, go for it. Tennis, like soccer, cool shit happens. I don't understand it, but cool shit happens in soccer all the time. Tag it. Post it, tag it.
Southern has two big ones that they need to put on. A couple years ago, when Bryson Myers caught that game-winning touchdown pass against Martinsburg, and they were like number 1 in the state of West Virginia at the time.
That was a good catch.
It was a great catch. That needs to be on there. Then the one I was telling you about. Actually, the very next week, now that I think of it, because I was a freshman when this happened. The very next week, same guy. Like Southern was up 21-0 at half against Hampshire. Hampshire's number 3 in the state of West Virginia.
Yeah.
And like Hampshire comes back and they're just like tied and got all the momentum. And they run like a hitch play. Hutton just throw it out to the split end and him just run for whatever. Same guy catches it and goes for a pick 6 on that play. Completely swings the momentum back in Southern's favor. That was the last time Southern was in the playoffs, by the way.
See,
that was 2001.
Parents, kids, you got these. You got these now. You're carrying them with you everywhere you go. Some people were just wearing GoPros on their heads during the entire game. Seriously, get that footage uploaded. Get these kids some recognition because that's how we're going to keep sports going. Because I don't know how it is out there in the rest of the world, but around here, shit is dwindling. People are losing interest. That's how you keep the interest up, is by showing interest in the kids and by doing these little things, just posting it, hashtagging it, getting some recognition. 2,000 hits, 10,000 hits, 100,000 hits. Oh my God, look, that kid, he's from here and he did that. Oh man, I want to play for that team next year. Check that shit out. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Keep interest in it.
See, this is a passion I have for sports that you don't usually have for sports right there.
I got passion for my local teams. I really do. I'm not going to go. I have gone up there and watched basketball games. I've been out and I've watched high school football games. And when I'm there, I do enjoy it, but it's not something I do regularly. I probably should, and I probably will once the guy crying in the background starts playing. He's going to play football. He's going to be a strong safety. He's going to pick 6 left and right. The kid's going to be putting up bad numbers. He's going to play for Notre Dame, and then he's going to Green Bay. End of story.
Me and Jess can teach him how to play basketball.
You can teach him how to
play
basketball.
You have to go watch some basketball.
I don't care. I will. I go to watch. My nephews play. I go watch their games.
Okay. You teach him how to play some basketball.
It's cute to watch the little one play.
Yeah. All right. Let's get off. We got 30 minutes. We squeezed in 30 minutes of sports. We were going to cut off at 13, but we squeezed in another 17 minutes.
I gave basketball to you, so you should just be elated.
Basketball. You want to talk about basketball?
No, I just gave you
basketball. I could really talk about some basketball.
I gave you the best basketball you love. Kid you coach, doing something awesome, and basketball all in one. You're thrilled to death over that.
I am thrilled to death over that. I was so happy for that kid. I'm going to see
it. Too.
Actually, there's a reason we're doing this on a Thursday. We usually don't do it on Thursday. Another benefit to doing it on Thursday. There's 2 reasons.
That helps the nerd thing better.
It helps because we can watch Arrow, Flash, Gotham, and Agent Carter. The only downside is we can't watch Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because that's tonight, but whatever. Not a big deal. We can watch those 4 and Sleepy Hollow. Oh, by the way, did you watch the show Sons of Liberty? Did you hear anything about that?
I didn't think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was coming back until Carter was over.
It's not coming back like February or whatever. March. I think it's like late February or March. Yeah. It's been on Thursday nights, hasn't it?
No, it's Tuesday nights.
Okay, never mind.
My bad.
My bad. Then that will be in our rotation.
Okay, anyway.
So we've switched it here for 2 reasons. So
that was the first.
The second one kind of helps me a little bit. It does help me a little bit because at 6 o'clock on Thursdays I play basketball at the Army. So I can no. To be fair, the first reason is the most important reason, honestly.
So here I am drinking by myself when it's podcasting. So I'm podcasting.
I'm under the influence of caffeine.
He's just podcasting.
Podcasting under the influence. Podcasting under the influence.
You don't want to be.
That was good. That's why we go left to right or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, before we get into nerd stuff, happy birthday to my BFE. She turned 21 today. I'm not going to throw her name out there because I'm that kind of guy. I'm a gentleman. But I love you, girl. Happy birthday. Be safe this weekend when you're out celebrating it. Love you.
All right. Now that we're on that topic, what's the matter?
Can we start at the beginning of the week and move toward the end of the week? Or you
want that's fine. Okay, that's fine. Well, Arrow technically was last Wednesday, and we can talk about it. The first episode of the mid-season premiere.
Well, then we got did we talk about Flash? Yeah, we did talk about Flash.
We did.
Let's save Arrow for last because Arrow's really good. We'll start out with Gotham.
Well, all 3 good.
Well, all of it's good. Agent Carter was, man, really good this week. Anyway, okay.
That show is amazing.
All right, stop our shit. Gotham.
Awesome.
If you're not, go kill yourself. You're missing out on the world. Get some Hulu, get some Netflix, do what you need to do. Go to Fox.com and
that show
inject it into your brain.
a lot of people will say that the comic books are really well
written. I wrote that. I have written that.
Okay. Anyway,
it is really well written.
Okay.
We already had this
argument.
argument. We had this argument like 3 podcasts ago. Go ahead.
It's very well written. Okay, it's about as well written as a good graphic novel is well written.
See, that just sounds so much more eloquent. Yeah, I know that was terrible too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's wrote as well as
it's written as well as a graphic novel. It's written very well. It's pretty. All right. Anyway,
what was it?
Okay.
So last week was the Electrocutioner, right?
No, that was Monday.
That was last Monday.
No, that was this past Monday.
No,
or am I that far behind?
You're that far behind. This Monday was
Fish.
Fish, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm caught up.
You had to arrest a cop because of drugs or whatever.
Yeah.
And he killed somebody with an ice pick.
Yeah. An innocent guy too who was doing the right thing. It just always pisses me off. And they wonder why people don't want to come forward.
Yeah. Especially when, yeah. But gosh, it's so great.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. At first, I was skeptical. I told my wife, I'm like, hey.
Well, the first episode had so much going on. You thought maybe it wasn't gonna be organized. To be honest, like it had like 5 different villains in the first episode. It was like showing all of them.
I didn't have that feeling. My first thing was like, all right, wow, we're gonna watch Batman without Batman. That's gonna be fantastic. I was very highly skeptical. I'm not gonna lie. And then I watched the first episode, then the second, then the third. It's like, holy shit! You talk about a build. They started at the perfect jumping in point with the death of the Waynes. That's like, if you're gonna tell that story, that's the only place to start. You can't start before that or after that. It has to be that moment. And they have done nothing but fantastic, especially with the character development of the huge amount of villains that are parlaying in and out of the place.
Yeah.
It's awesome. See, I mean, Edward Nygma.
My issue with it, the first episode, you had, I want to say, 6 or 7 villains. In the first episode, you had 6 or 7 villains. You had Catwoman, Poison Ivy. You had Enigma, Penguin. You had the Maroonies. Falcone.
And then the introduction of Fish.
Well, Fish isn't technically a comic book character. She's just kind of wrote in as someone else.
Yeah, but they did the same thing with Harley Quinn in the animated series and it worked.
Who else was in the first? I know there's other people in the first episode that were villains. Like Harvey, the police officer that helps, what's his name? That helps Gordon. Harvey Bullock? Yeah, Bullock. He was in the comic. This is so much that was in it in the first episode, and you're like...
And whether or not in comic canon those two were partners, putting them as partners in the series, they were. Okay, I was about to say because that works beautifully. That really does.
Because whenever Gordon gets promoted to commissioner, Bullock is a little bit bitter about that he got the promotion above him, considering he's been there longer.
Yeah.
So he's a little bitter about it. And which honestly, I kind of like Bullock's character. The guy who's playing him does a really good job.
He does a fantastic job. What was the other show he was in on Fox? Grounded for Life.
Yeah, Grounded for Life.
Fantastic as the dad man. I thought that show was hysterical.
And he's lost a lot of weight since that. Wasn't he like a heavyset guy?
I thought he actually gained some.
For Bullock?
Yeah.
He's lost a lot.
Well, the character of Bullock. Character of Bullock's a big guy.
If you watch The Dark Knight,
supposed to be that overweight.
If you watch Batman Begins, he's that fat. That's who he's supposed to be. The fat detective that gets strung up by Batman and asks him where the drugs were going.
Yeah, he's supposed to be the overweight. All right, I'm done with this shit cop. Kind of, I'm putting in time.
Which that might still happen.
I want my gold watch and my.
That might still happen.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that's the character. That's where they're going with that, and that might happen after he gets promoted commissioner. But that'll probably be the last episode of the series.
Well, apparently they're making this show to cycle into. They're actually gonna make a Batman show. They're making a Nightwing show and a Supergirl. See, I'm not kidding you. They're making.
CW?
Oh yeah. Nightwing is either
Nightwing. I'm interested in Supergirl. Never.
Nightwing will make an appearance on Arrow. I think this season. By the end of this season, Nightwing will show up.
That'd be cool.
Let me Google that to make sure. I want to at least make sure I'm saying the right thing. I don't want our fans all 5 of them.
See, now you're jumping over to the CW and we were doing a good Fox broadcast.
Hey, it's okay. It's Batman.
But no, seriously, they are doing such a fantastic job with character development. I mean, you always wonder why was the Penguin so screwed up, and don't go by Batman Returns because that was kind of weird. But they're building it as to why he is the character he is and how he slowly rises to power, and I think that's great. And then you see Edward Nygma and what drives him to that end, like constantly being made fun of and not taken seriously, and no one appreciating how intelligent he is. I get that, and I like the way that's going, especially with and what it's always going to be.
Do you think that girl's going to be the tipping point?
Kringle? Oh, hell yeah. That's important. Otherwise, she wouldn't have a memorable name.
Mm-hmm.
It would just be Sally whatever, but no, it's Kringle.
Yeah.
You're not going to forget that because every time you hear Kringle, you think, Chris, is he bringing me presents?
Yeah.
Like, they're doing such a good job. I'm very happy. And you thought when you started out it was going to be all about Gordon and his rise to power, but it's more about the villain.
Stephen R. McQueen, and this is posted.
And their rise to power.
Nightwing Training. Because this is posted by Rachel on the CW's Arrow. Because that was shared. I follow Stephen Amell, the guy who plays Arrow.
Oh, okay.
I follow him on Twitter, and I remember seeing this, and I didn't know if it was a hoax or whatever, but that's the guy who's going to play Nightwing. Now, whether Nightwing gets his own show or not, I'm not sure.
Looks like he has the haircut for it already.
Oh, yeah. Did you watch that YouTube series? You didn't watch the whole thing, but I know you watched like one episode with me, right?
Yeah, I watched the
where Deathstroke.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Stephen R. McQueen will be playing Arrow.
Any relation to Steve?
Nightwing, I'm sorry.
Any relation to the Steve McQueen?
I have no idea.
Wow.
I would assume
that's
maybe.
Something I want to know. Comment on that. I ain't got time to look it up.
But he will be on Arrow, and he is going to be Nightwing. Now, what episode it is doesn't say.
That'd be a good way to end the season. Get you baited in for next year.
Yeah. Well, they also have the Blue Beetle coming soon.
And we were all thrilled to death. Next up, the Tick. Who I like far better. I love the Tick.
The Tick is hilarious.
Honey was the Tick.
Yeah, he was.
that didn't even get near.
Okay, Gotham. So I love the show. Catwoman is pretty awesome.
I like the way they're developing her.
I like the way they're developing her and Bruce, because Bruce is learning, like, to put it. He's kind of learning to put his emotions aside, because
he's learning that bitches suck.
One movie,
and they're hateful.
He's learning to put his emotions aside. He's learning that you gotta get over your sadness and your depression or whatever for any situation immediately. His heart's in the right place, but you just gotta know who you're dealing with. I mean, Catwoman is a cold-hearted bitch, and I like Catwoman, don't get me wrong, but she is a cold-hearted son of a gun.
Well, and the way they are in the comics and the animated that we watched, and even some of the movies we watched, I like the fact that this series is taking it back and setting it up as they knew each other as kids, because then that makes that relationship and back and forth that they have throughout all of the other aforementioned things. It makes more sense that they knew each other longer than they actually says they have.
Is if they are going to do a Batman series, is Catwoman going to know he's Batman? Because he's going to know who Catwoman is. Obviously.
Well, not at first, but that's something that does come out in the wash later.
I mean, she eventually knows who he is. A lot of his villains eventually know who he is, but
no one's going to believe him because they're all insane.
That's a great question. Who knew who Bruce Wayne was the fastest? There's two people that figured out the fastest.
Clark.
Huh?
Clark.
No, I said villain. Okay, I meant to say villains.
So I would say Selena and Edward.
Two fastest are Hugo Strange and Bane. From their time in Gotham, from their time being in Gotham and knowing of the Batman. Bane figured it out in what would be equivalent to about 6 month time period of him being in Gotham.
Mm-hmm.
Hugo was about 6.5 to 8.
Okay.
It depends on which comic book you read, but Bane is said to be the figure out who Batman is the fastest. So, land in your shoes, your Crocs.
That happens.
So
pink Crocs.
So we just beat up Gotham a little bit. Look, God, dude, I love that show.
It is good. You want to stick with the DC universe while we're there?
Oh yeah.
Flash this week. Wow.
Piper. He's a good villain.
Very good. It's a little too Harry Potterish for me, but whatever. I think that's kind of what they were going for. So I'm not going to argue.
That doesn't bother me one bit. Harry Potter-ish.
That guy.
I like Harry Potter. He hates Harry Potter.
I like the way they're going with the professor.
Yeah.
I really do. And it's kind of like, at first you thought it was just because you got the insinuation, if you've been watching the series, that, wow, he's just downright dastardly evil and just nasty and we don't like him at all. But now I'm figuring out why he has an affinity for Barry and finding it out because because of the power, he lost the power.
Yeah.
And he wants to find out how to retain.
He still has
the power.
it. It's just for some reason his body it drains him of all of his energy.
Yeah, he only.
And that's why he has a thing which is supposed to maintain it.
But he's almost got that drained. If you're watching.
So now we're kind of picking up little teeny tiny tidbits on what he's actually doing and what the plan is.
They're doing actually. I think the Flash is doing a little bit better with character development than Arrow did.
The Flash has more character development background to play with also.
Yeah, true.
And because they're supernatural, you have a lot more leeway on a lot of things.
Yeah.
Arrow, you have to keep it
within the realm of plausibility.
Within the realm of plausibility. Yeah. So I still like Arrow a lot better. I think.
Well, I do too. I'm a far greater
Katie
fan of
Cassidy,
Arrow.
your ass looks amazing in leather pants. That's the girl who plays Laurel. She look amazing in leather pants. That's all I'm gonna say.
Emily Bett Ricards, put on some leather pants, please.
Who's this?
Emily Bett Ricards?
Who's she play?
The science nerd.
Oh, Felicity.
Yeah, that or in leather pants.
I like her.
I'm dying for that.
Her skirts looks good too, but Katie Cassidy, the first episode she was in, when she was the Black Canary. Then she had like one scene where she threw that thing at the car and a glass exploded and hit the guy. And she walked up to the other guy. I guarantee I paused out for like 10 minutes and just stared at him.
I can see myself right there.
I was like, I have one man right here.
Right here.
I guarantee I watched that at least.
Zoom. Rewind.
Zoom. Rewind. Pause.
Rewind. Pause. Play.
Pause. Play. Pause. Rewind. But God, that girl looks. I think she looks hotter than her sister did, or whatever.
I like the way they're developing that because that's one thing I pointed out when we first started discussing this. Is like, oh wait a minute, that's not Canary. She's supposed to be Canary, and the way they pulled that off and they developed it beautifully. They gave her purpose. The only thing that needs to happen, and it's going to happen next week. Well, yeah, always coming back next week. Apparently, according to the previews.
Okay, I didn't see the preview.
The preview, Ollie's supposed to come back next week. So get Canary some training, because otherwise that girl is just going to be at the wrong end of the gun at the wrong time.
My question is Katana going to come with him? The girl. That girl who's helping him right now, and
she almost has to because it looks like her husband's like got a death wish.
I think
he wants to be killed by Ra's al Ghul.
I wonder who he could be. A couple villains. Now, I got to circle back to something, and it's been lingering on my mind for the last couple of weeks. Remember when we were talking about
3 weeks of stuff he's gonna dump right now.
Actually, this goes back maybe to podcast 5. Remember when we were talking about Thea, who's she going to be? This is what we circled off. And
she can still be Speedy.
She can also still be Artemis. That's why I got to correct that because we were referring to we tailed off from that topic and started talking about how there's different storylines,
and then we never came back to it.
Yeah, so I want to come back to that real quick. In one storyline, she is Speedy.
5 podcasts later, we came back.
Yeah, it's been lingering on my mind. Now I got a chance to full circle. In one storyline, she is Speedy, who is also like Roy is. He's Arsenal.
Psychic.
Yeah, psychic. There's another one where she follows Merlin and becomes Artemis. And she's really good with the bow, and she's just as well trained as he is. And he's a villain of Arrow. I think Kevin Smith wrote that.
Was that in his 13 issue run?
I think it was.
I'd have to reread it.
I think it was.
It's been a while.
But now I'm full circle on that. That's what I mean. You can be one or the other. Just like
I think they're going to do both.
That's like in.
They're going to do both. They're going to start her off as Artemis, and then in season 4 bring her.
Well,
turn her around to
I
Speedy.
really think that Merlin's going to.
I think he dies by the end.
He's
of the
going to
season.
screw up. No, he's going to screw up, and she's going to figure out he lied, and that he had lesser intentions of lying to her than Ollie.
Okay, well here, while we're on the subject of Thea,
She's a badass, by the way.
Yeah,
I like what she is now. I hate the Dawson's Creek version of her.
Yeah, I told him that like that was making the show almost unwatchable, and the Dawson's Creek reference was on purpose because of character stuff. But anyway, was it ever explained why Merlin wanted Sarah dead?
Yes, because she was sent there to kill him.
Okay, I didn't get that. I maybe that was insinuated and I missed it, but I don't remember it being.
She
explained.
was he, or at least that's what he assumes.
I don't remember that being explained.
There is a hit out. There was a hit out on him from the League of Assassins.
Well, I figured that out from the DJ calling back to what? Yeah,
no, he called. Oh yeah, to
he called what's his name, Koji or
yeah, Koji,
whatever it is. Letting him know that Merlin was not leaving and still there. So it tells me that the League knows damn well who killed Sarah.
Yeah.
They know. They're just letting things
I'm pretty sure that has nothing to do with that. I'm pretty sure it just
he was striking.
I don't think he knew. I don't think he really knew. But he did something along the Undertaking. Okay, he explained this.
The Undertaking.
The Undertaking was in the eyes of the League unforgivable, or you shouldn't do it. You can't do that kind of thing to that magnitude without the approval of the League of Assassins.
You have to be subversive. You have to be subversive about your tactics. You can't just go outright and say we're doing this.
Yeah, and you also got to get approval, because it has to be a. For those of you that don't know, the way that the League of Shadows or League of Assassins does things is when they deem a civilization unfit to be a part of this world anymore, they end it. And it's supposed to be a group thing, and Ra's al Ghul has the final say. For example, if you watch The Dark Knight or the Batman Begins, Ra's al Ghul had the final say in destroying Gotham. And that's what he tried to do. And Batman stopped him.
Good for them getting a guy that looks similar to Liam Neeson to fill that role.
I completely agree with that. He did a great job, too.
Yes. Anyway,
and so that is what the League of Assassins does. Now, they do kill certain people that they deem a threat to humanity or whatever. That is their job. They're not just a bunch of killers. They kill for what they deem to be purpose.
Well, and they even made the mention of that in Batman Begins, that the sacking of Rome, the Great London Fire, all that crap, it was done because they thought the society was too corrupt.
Yeah. And that's how they cleanse it. It's called a cleansing, so to speak.
See, maybe we could blame the Chicago fire on that one.
Maybe.
I'm just saying.
They really existed and it wasn't a fake universe.
Do you know for certain that that's not the universe we're living in?
I do not. You can't blame every earthquake on an earthquake machine from Arrow.
No, I'm going to blame it on that bullshit from that show where they had to drill to the core.
So he has a hit on him, Merlin, from the League of Assassins. They want him dead because he went out of the realms of you got to go through your chain of command, so to speak. And I would assume that she wasn't there to kill him. I would assume that she was there for something else. But since Merlin's knew she was in town, he probably assumed she was there to kill him. And so that's when he drugged Thea and had Thea kill her. And then that was to have Oliver. He did that so Oliver would take his place, or Thea's place, and try to kill Ra's al Ghul. If he kills Ra's al Ghul, the deed is done. The deed is done. Then
we can roll on with our lives.
Yes. If he doesn't kill him, he gets Oliver out of his way, and Thea becomes his only family now because Oliver's dead. And I really don't understand why he wanted Oliver to do it anyway. Merlin is just as capable of fighting as Oliver is. Oliver, I think, is a little younger.
but Malcolm is far more manipulative than Ollie is.
Very. I think he's playing Thea like a.
But see, that's what makes me think that she currently is Artemis and will become Speedy, because I'm betting you if it's not the end of this season, it's the middle of the next, that footage they have of her killing Sarah comes to light, and Ollie finally levels with her, is like, this is who I am, this is what I do, and this is what you did. Do you want me to help you with that, or what? I think that footage, because we've seen the footage, somebody recorded it, it's out there. I think that's going to come into play. I think she's going to be Artemis, and she's going to become Speedy, and that's going to be awesome sauce, because there is no such thing as too many archers in one city, especially when this fucked up as Star City. And then you add in the Atom.
Oh, the app. I can't wait for the app.
I need to give me the keys. I need to borrow your helicopter. I promise I won't crash it. That is the best.
Helicopters don't have. I'm a little concerned because helicopters don't have keys.
Oh, they don't.
They don't? Okay, I'm just gonna take it then. It's on the roof. Yeah.
That's the best.
It was great.
That was a great moment.
I wonder if Felicity is actually gonna start like doing stuff in the field. Like I know she's not.
Well, she has been. She's been a driver and been on site.
I mean, like actually gonna start like doing stuff because there's a couple stories. You know who her father is, right? Her father owns Hive. Which is a big, yeah. Her father owns Hive. You know who Hive is.
Yeah, I know what Hive is.
Her father. This is why she never talks about her father.
I didn't know her father was that guy.
Yeah, her father owns Hive. If you want to know, I'm not going to get into detail too much. Just
look it up.
Look it up.
Capital H period I period B period E period.
It's one of the.
Check it out and put DC in front of it. It'll probably come up quicker for you.
But that's who her father is, and her father owns Hive, and that's where her tie-in comes with that.
Yeah, well, we know what those.
Eventually, it's going to be a big deal. I don't know if it's going to be by the end of this season or.
That's a nice card to keep in the back of the deck for when ratings start dropping.
That's what see, knowing that, now that you know that, you're just going to keep your eyes out for that.
Oh, I'm going to be watching for it more. Because
there's
already been two references.
You've seen it in it. Yeah, there's been a couple
of references. So.
Well, that's why she's like referenced. She doesn't talk about her father.
I think it's good. I still think Felicity's best moment, since we're talking about her, and she's so awesome in my opinion, she would have been the perfect Harley Quinn. But however, she's playing a great role as she is.
She's very pretty, but it's just
I don't for the nerdy, intelligent blondes are
for
just
the part of Harley Quinn. Her boobs are too small. I think she's playing the role she has right now.
Great. No, I'm not disagreeing. But if I were to have to pick a Harley Quinn before she was casted as this, or as that. You started talking about tits, and now I just completely lost my train of thought.
So that's my only issue with her playing Harley Quinn. Other than that, I think she has a great.
You get a small
Everything
issue.
From here down,
I have a small issue because it's not big enough.
I have a issue
An issue.
A issue.
An issue.
A.
Well, there's two of them, so it'd be an.
A cup.
Oh, look at you being smart.
I have two issues, and they're small issues, but
it's called an A issue.
Oh man,
God, you made me. You just derailed my train. I was like,
sorry. Okay,
burn.
you like
Felicity burn right now.
Felicity Hive back on track. I'm sorry, and you wish she would have been Harley.
She would have been perfect for Harley Quinn, but whatever. Actually, she would have been perfect for Batgirl.
You know what I think would be perfect for
Harley
Harley
Quinn? She'd been perfect for Batgirl.
She would.
Barb Gordon.
You know what I think would be perfect for Harley Quinn? This honest to goodness who I think would be a perfect look for Harley Quinn. You remember?
Don't give me some bitch that I forgot about 10 years ago.
You'll know about her. You know the girl in... You've seen Dark Knight Rises, right?
Yeah.
You remember Catwoman? Her friend, the little blonde friend?
Oh my god, that's obscure as shit.
Get her name.
I'm sure you have her name, but I'm just saying, that's just kind of like obscure. That's not like, oh, you know who'd be great for that? Katy Perry.
I think Katy Perry, honest to goodness.
She'd be a good Catwoman.
I think she would be... Hold on. I think she would actually be an excellent...
She's bubbly enough to be Harley Quinn, actually. She's naturally bubbly. She's just... I think she can pull off idiot, blonde, genius sidekick. I mean, because...
I think she could pull off Harley Quinn better. I think she has the look of Harley Quinn. Throw her hair in pigtails, put a little pink...
Small face. Yeah, because Harley Quinn has a small, rounded face. Yeah.
And her,
I can see that. What's her name?
Her name is Juno Temple.
Juno Temple.
Juno
Temple. There. Look it up, kids. I'm going to have to go with
She was in Dark Knight Rises. Actually, that's who I think would be the perfect Harley Quinn, but...
I could see that being
And she played Catwoman's prostitute friend. She was supposed to be a prostitute, but let's see what she looks like.
Then I got the red and the black in there. It looks like it'd be her colors.
Yep. I'm gonna Google that. See if some fan made a picture of that.
They probably are.
Juno Temple as Harley Quinn. Temple Harley Quinn. I'm just gonna see if it's in there.
Point is, the casting on Arrow is fantastic. They have done a great job. I've heard some arguments about, oh man, but Captain Jack is a bad guy. That's how an actor gets better, is by playing the opposite side.
So
of the
you could see her dressed like that. I could totally see her dressed like that.
Did someone Photoshop the shit out of that?
Yeah.
That is
little less makeup, but other than that, I can see her like she has the blonde hair, put a little red on the ends.
Do that Google search, kids. Do that Google search. It works because we've already tried this. I'm going to show you what I'm seeing thing, and it doesn't work. And since we're not that computer nerdy, I can't just throw it up on the screen for you like that. Maybe we need a projector up here and a board behind us and just, yeah, feel like
Hot Crazy Matrix.
We could do that. I actually do have an NEC projector in the back.
Do you?
It's from the same organization that lent me this. But we're not going to talk about that.
Definitely not. Arrow. Flash. Great episode this week. The guy that's the Pied Piper. Not a fan of the villain, but I do like his.
But the way the villain furthered the plot was a nice use of. It was a nice use of a filler episode to keep things going, because a lot of these science fiction shows, and especially comic book related shows, will throw in that random episode that is just there to fill the space between the next three-parter.
Yeah.
And even though this felt like a filler, it actually did connect some more dots.
Mark Hamill's
great
coming
job.
soon with one episode. He's playing the trickster. He's redoing.
Can't we just let him do the Joker, call it a day?
No, he did the voice of the Joker.
He can still do the Joker. He played Cock Knocker in Jane Silent Bob Strike Back.
He's too old.
Oh, but his voice is perfect for the role. Mark Hamill's Joker is probably like Heath Ledger did a fantastic job, but I will not take anything away from Heath Ledger's Joker. Please, by all means, do not.
When it comes
Heath
to
Ledger
vocals,
fans, do not be mad at me for this. But damn it,
I'm a Heath Ledger
Mark
fan,
Hamill's vocal as the Joker, just the best. One of the best YouTube videos ever is him sitting there doing the Joker voice and the oh my god, how the fuck did I forget? Luke Skywalker talking as if Joker was Darth Vader. Funnier than shit. And it's hilarious. Luke, I am your father. That can't be true. No! It's the best. I love you, Mark Hamill. I really do.
By the way, Luke Skywalker, we've argued about this. He's a Dark Jedi. Because he does know dark side.
Well, yeah, because he force chokes people into the wall.
Yeah.
We already established that.
Yeah.
Did we argue over that? Because I didn't think we argued over that. I thought I was just in
no, because you said
subtle agreement.
You said there's
he has a green lightsaber.
No. We did argue with that, but we did revive. I'm going to go ahead.
Yeah. So, are we officially done with DC conversation at this point?
Yes, we are done with DC.
Okay, we're done with DC conversation. Okay. See, now Dark Horse Star Wars comics is going to be a nice segue over to Marvel from DC. We're good. All right.
Okay. Because you and I argued with me that there's no Dark Jedi. That's just dark. This is Sith. Luke Skywalker is a Dark Jedi. Mace Windu is also a Dark Jedi.
He is the darkest of Jedi.
Yes, he is, because he
is the only black one. But anyway.
He's not the only black one. He's not the only black one.
The only black one you saw.
Only black one you saw.
Sorry. Race joke.
Anyway.
He's checking to see what time he has to play basketball. He's got a lot of time to film.
I have 2 hours. What was I trying to say here? I was trying to thought.
Shazam.
There is Sith, and there's Jedi, and then there's Dark Jedi, and then there's Sith Inquisitors. Who, and he disagrees with me, but Dark Jedis know dark side, but they choose to do things for the light side. But they do know dark side. They know all the tricks and the trades.
They use the dark arts for good purposes. I'll agree with you on that. I think my only...
It's like Jedi Sentinels are big-time Jedi. Those are Dark Jedi because their job is to do the dirty work for the Jedi Knights who are strictly in the light. They will do the dark stuff. They will do the dirty work.
I think my strong disagreement with you on the whole Star Wars argument was the fact that there were literally 300 different colors of lightsabers, and my argument to that was that's just the color the artist chose for his orange today. Like, I don't really believe there's like Crimson Orange, Mandarin Orange, Florida Orange, on down the line. There's an orange lightsaber. There's an orange crystal for that. Those orange people have a certain purpose, but there are not 30 different orange people. Or 30 different variations of orange people.
I'm going to just throw the old argument about the lightsaber color out the window. Because whenever a Jedi...
But do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes. You go somewhere... I forget the name of the place, and you actually go to a planet where these crystals for lightsabers are, and you find the crystals there. And the crystal that is for you, like it chooses you. It actually glows so where you can see it. No one else can see it but you. And that's where you find your crystal, and that's how you make your lightsaber. Now, do they have other color lightsaber like crystals? I don't know. That's the question. I don't think the color of the lightsaber has anything to do with your abilities. And I've watched this video a couple times that I showed you, and I've just rebutted the whole thing.
That kid just makes you want to fucking jerk off.
Because there's, as a Jedi, the color of your lightsaber means nothing. Because when you are training to be a Jedi, when you're a Padawan, and you got to go to the planet, find your crystal, and then you make your own lightsaber. And you got to make it with the Force. You can't use your hands. You got to Force make it. That's the only way to make a proper lightsaber. If not, it explodes. You find it, the crystal in which you find for you is the one you have your entire time as a Jedi. Unless you switch and go like dual lightsaber, unless you go to whatever, then you'll find another one. But the one you find initially is the one you're supposed to stay with your entire career as a Jedi, unless it breaks or you lose it or you find another one. And then whenever you're a Jedi, you can go back to that temple. Like, for example, if Yoda were to walk in that temple, because he's already got his dream, no. Every one of them in there would light up. Because he is force sensitive that all of them would be drawn to him because of his power and his ability, his side of the Force. I'm serious.
But wasn't the adage that we were led to believe was that Anakin was just as sensitive to the Force as Yoda?
Yes.
Okay. Just saying.
But that's what you're supposed to. That's part of your Jedi training. You got to go to this temple.
Oh, because wait a minute. Because Anakin picked blue, which would have been combat related.
You don't pick anything. The gem picks you.
Well, whatever. But
that's
he
why
picked
I'm
blue.
saying if Yoda.
I'm just saying. I think it's interesting that Yoda had green and so did Luke.
Okay, if you're going off the color spectrum, blue is supposed to be a warrior color, and green is supposed to be force sensitive. Why does Yoda have green? Because he's very good with lightsaber.
I thought green was wise. Or wisdom.
Wise,
wisdom,
Jedi
whatever.
Yeah. But he's also very good with a lightsaber.
But
he's bouncing like a damn jackrabbit.
Yeah, but don't you think it's interesting that Yoda and Luke had the same color lightsaber or were chosen by the same
people? No, because Luke Skywalker is said to be one of the greatest lightsabers of all time.
Well, no.
Other than Mace Windu.
Yeah, Mace Windu's a good man because he was
him, Anakin, and
he was so good at defending it was this close to attack.
Him, Luke, and Anakin are the three best.
No, there's got to be somebody better. I mean, if we really want to get into the annals, I mean,
history of the Jedi
literally dig all the way back into the Great Empire.
The color means nothing because, and I wish they'd defend. There's a scene at the beginning of the Return of the Jedi where he actually makes his lightsaber,
and they deleted it.
I wish they wouldn't have because you need to know how, as a Jedi,
it needs to be shown.
That is the completion of your actual Jedi training is making your lightsaber. If you can't do it, because that's where he gives it to R2D2. He gives it to R2D2 right there.
Yeah, but see, and then the only reason you God damn, we have spiraled out of fucking control.
No, we haven't.
But then
I
Yoda
believe that the color means nothing.
What is it? Teach you no more I can, learn what you must you have.
Yes.
And all he has to do now is face Vader, and that's pretty much it. Like, I think adding the lightsaber scene, leaving the lightsaber scene at the beginning of his return, it made more sense. It actually made that scene make more sense because you would have seen him complete his task and then Yoda telling him that you are done and I can't do anything else for you, and that full circle coming around. It would have made it a stronger film. Who can I blame that on? George?
I can blame it on a couple people.
I blame it on George.
But I've come to that. I used to worry about like what the colors mean. I mean, what's it? Why do you think? You want to know why red is strictly dark side? It's because the red.
It's synthesized.
Yes, and they all come out. Most of them come out red. Some of them turn out orange or purpley colored, but most of them come out strictly red. And you have the very rare ones. It's a black lightsaber, which is very rare crystal. You cannot. It's really hard to find.
But that was only established in the animated.
Your ability as a Jedi has nothing to do with your lightsaber. It only has to do with making the lightsaber. That's the only thing that your Jedi powers have to do with that lightsaber. The
only thing I wish they would have established, and
that's my personal opinion. Now you can believe the color thing if you want. I
don't necessarily do it. I read a Star Wars encyclopedia that's actually geared toward children that actually says, well, this is this, this is this, this is this, and it only goes through the three basic colors. It doesn't even.
So here's my thing:
orange and that turquoise.
Here's my rebuttal of that. Let's say hypothetically speaking, because this happened in the movie, Qui-Gon Jinn's lightsaber was blue?
He was green.
Green. Anakin or
Obi-Wan's
was blue.
He
Okay.
should not have been able to wield
Exactly.
Qui-Gon.
That's my point. If it's strictly based on your abilities as a Jedi, you should not be able to use a different lightsaber. That's my point. That's why I've come to believe that the color doesn't matter. It's just the color you have to find when you're searching.
See, this is serendipity that we're even having this conversation because I thought about it earlier in the week, and I thought I think it should have been established in any one of the 6 movies, or even the Clone Wars series or the Rebel series, that only a Jedi can wield a lightsaber. And the only reason I say that is, and this is going more into scientific fact than it has to do with science fiction in and of itself, is that in order to hold a 12-inch rod emitting a plasma stream encased in a magnetic field that emits an extreme amount of heat enough to melt through a steel door, I think you would need the Force, or you would need to be like Grievous, who is made of a heat-resistant alloy. I'm just saying.
See, I disagree with that because Han Solo used the lightsaber in the second Star Wars movie.
He did indeed. But I'm just saying, I would like to have seen that. That kind of thing, to make it just strictly their weapon, because otherwise you could have a Jedi with a gun to his head, and apparently he's not a true Jedi because he's afraid for his life, making lightsabers on a fucking treadmill all day long for your army.
You could technically do that.
I'm just saying, again, I would like to see it said that only a Jedi,
without purest intentions on finding your lightsaber. And this is where, if you ever get a chance, watch the Clone Wars. They go to a lot of
detail on that.
A lot of lore. They go through a lot of lore, like how Yoda became part of the Force and how Qui-Gon Jinn became part of.
Oh, they did a great job with that.
3-part episode did a great job, and they go over the lore of how a lightsaber is made. You cannot form a lightsaber. If you were just if I was a Jedi and you were a person, and if I was just a regular person, you were a Jedi. If I were to put it together by hand, it does not work. Because when you form it you have to form it with your mind, and when you put it together properly, that's what makes the Force. The Force gets trapped in it, and that's what makes the gem hover. The gem literally hovers inside your lightsaber, and that traps it in there, and the Force gets stuck between the lightsaber and everything else around it.
Okay.
And that's how a lightsaber is made. And you can actually adjust length and stuff or whatever with the lightsaber. But if you do it the wrong way, it explodes. If you don't do it the proper way, it explodes as soon as you start using it.
No, that's how you know
the crystal implodes itself. And I do love all the Star Wars lore, but I've come to believe personally that the color of your lightsaber has nothing to do with your abilities. It has to do with the color, the gem you found whenever you were in training. Beyond that, if you want a different color, you can get a different color. You can get any color you want. It has nothing to do with your training.
But that color has to find you.
Okay, let's say I'm a Jedi and I find a red gem. Am I supposed to be a Sith now?
If you found a red gem, then that means it was synthesized. And
there are natural red gems are very rare, but almost all synthesized gems are red.
I can't agree with just because.
Does find the gem inherit the abilities you're supposed to be heavy to? Let's say, for example, you're purple. You find purple. Are you supposed to be the best defensive lightsaber wielder of all time? Or if you're yellow, does that make you a Jedi Sentinel? Or if you're green, does that mean you're supposed to be wisdom and not? But what if you're really good at working a Jedi or a lightsaber? It does not be indicative of your abilities. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
I think it's strictly just a color. Initially, he didn't want him to have a color, but it wasn't showing up on the screen very well. That's what George Lucas' initial thing was. It's supposed to be.
Go back and watch it. Do you hope it looks white the entire time, even though it's.
He initially didn't want it to have a color, but he thought the color made it better to see because of the background.
Well, it just looks white. Really, honestly, there's barely a blue halo around it. It looks terrible. But anyway.
That's just
no. Okay,
I do prevent at least.
I'm going to go the other way.
Argument.
I'm going to go the other way with this. And I'm not.
Let's not get too much into it because we're still.
I'm not passionate about this. I'm just playing devil's advocate at this point. What if you figure out what kind of Jedi you're going to be by going to this place and finding the gem, or the gem is supposed to find you? Like you walk into the temple. And the green calls to you, and you're saying, "Oh, you're supposed to be this kind of Jedi."
Yeah. Well,
I'm just saying because you see younglings.
The gem.
You see younglings using lightsabers.
Those are trainer lightsabers. Those are different. Those are already pre-made.
Okay.
That Those are pre-made.
I had that thought myself, but I'm looking at another.
The trainer lightsaber.
For the sake, come on, this is fine.
It is fun. You're talking about like in the scene where Yoda walks in and asks the kids a simple question, helping out Obi-Wan.
Yeah, why isn't this planted here?
Those lightsabers are not real lightsabers. They're actually anyone can make those and wield those. The way those are made is you have a staff and you have 4 different beams, and the beams go from here to here, and they're caught in these beams. And there's 4 different ones around the lightsaber. It just looks like it's full. I played Star Wars: The Old Republic, the MMO. They show you how that is used. Okay, they show you how
that's fine. I was just creating another argument.
I got you.
Devil's advocate. I don't really honestly personally care. My favorite color for a lightsaber is purple.
I like purple.
Is purple. I'm actually ordering the parts I need to rebuild my Mace Windu lightsaber, which was damaged under combat because, granted, Master Collector, you did a fantastic job building it, but didn't put up with what I did to it. So Ultra Sabers, you're going to get at least $100 by business.
All I'm saying is if you're wielding, let's say you wield a blue, and if you're dual wielding, and you have a blue and a green, does that mean you've mastered both?
Which Anakin has done.
And he's also had and this is truth, he had a red lightsaber too. No, I'm sorry, Luke Skywalker also had a red lightsaber. He did. It's in the lore. I swear to you. I can prove it to you.
Well, I'm not.
It's in one of the stories.
I'm not discounting. I'm just.
That's the. And his daughter actually is a Jedi. I think she was a Jedi, and she wielded a red one for a while. It's not indicative of being evil when using the red. The only upside to the red. This is why they created the synthetic red crystal. The red crystal with dark energy could actually like a 1 in like 1,000 probability with enough dark energy can actually shatter a normal crystal. That's the upside to the synthetic. You can't do it the other way around with a normal to the synthetic. That's what the upside to the synthetic was. Okay. Is that with enough dark energy and enough dark force, you can shatter the lightsaber or the crystal of the other lightsaber. That was the benefit. What I'm saying,
a light lightsaber.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, I don't think the color has any at all indicative of your abilities as a Jedi, because if you go into the cavern that you go to get these crystals, the one planet they're on, if you walk in and let's say you're Yoda will see every one of them in there
because he's
force sensitive, and every gem will be like, I want him, I want to be his lightsaber, I want to be. And based on your skills and abilities, it based on the gem that pulls you to you, the color, just the color.
Okay, I'm tracking.
I don't think the color itself is indicative of your abilities as a Jedi. That's all I'm saying. Because Obi-Wan's is green, right?
Okay, well, wait a minute. Would you go as far to say that the color could be indicative of a rank?
I would see.
Because I'm just saying,
I can say yes to that, and here's why.
Because it never was established that Yoda was the Grand Master of the Council. He was just
him and Mace Windu were one too.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. It never was established that of the Jedi hierarchy. You got the assumption that they were like, say, the co-presidents of the Jedi.
This is a good argument we're having here. Good discussion.
It was never physically established that they were the co-presidents of the Jedi Council. However, you got that assumption from the way they did.
I don't think
because even Yaddle sat on the council, and how much screen time did she get? You never even heard a damn thing about her.
Here's where I disagree with you on that. If you had to rank the 2 best Jedi on the council, who would it be? Mace Windu and Yoda.
Yeah.
Yoda has the same color lightsaber as half the guys there.
But
if the color of the lightsaber was based solely on rank, then you got to understand my point on that.
I understand your point. The only point I'm going to make is I feel sorry for the fanboy nation out there that's watching this right now that is literally thinking, so Mace Windu's favorite color was purple? Yes, that was his favorite color, and he was badass with it, so suck it.
I think that he has a specific ability no one else has, and for that, he thought, I need to distinguish I think they just needed to distinguish him from everyone else. There was a special ability he had, and they had to distinguish him from everyone else.
I think he may or may not have a real and a synthesized gem in his lightsaber.
Like a blue and a red?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, I'm just saying. That would be that would be a nice explanation.
Because in all my reading,
then we don't have to yell at each other.
In all my readings, I've actually never seen a purple gem. Which would mean that his lightsaber's impervious to the dark.
Darks. Yeah. Maybe that's the whole entire point.
And, we might be like
we have just stumbled upon
like
something.
An
in our
orange
lightsaber
argument. Is a red and a yellow mix.
Yeah. Like a synthetic, because you were talking about the Dark Jedi, so that was their color, correct?
So then there is really no purpose to it other than it's a stronger lightsaber.
Well, I need red and I need yellow, or what, orange? Yeah. So I was called by a yellow gem. However, I'm pretty good with a blade. Maybe I'm a little on the shady side.
I got a theory on the black Jedi, or black lightsaber too, which is very rare.
I still don't really buy that.
The white lightsaber is all colors. Is all the three major colors of stones, and it comes up three. There's three. Color wheel. Look at the color wheel. You have red.
Think really hard.
Color wheel. God damn.
There's only three colors on it.
Red, yellow, green.
Yellow and blue make green. It's red, yellow, and blue.
Yes. Okay, my bad. But like all the colors together make white. So that's
white is the combination of color. Black is the absent there in them.
Yes.
You're correct.
So, man, we had a good conversation.
We just beat that to death for 40 minutes.
That was great. That was a good conversation.
I thought it was. I
made good points. We both made good points. My whole point is, I don't think the color of the lightsaber is indicative of your abilities.
My point is, there's fanboys out there that are going to cry and bawl and bitch and moan about that, and I'm pretty sure that any Star Wars fan that refers this to someone who goes to Otakon every year who's a huge Star Wars fan, there's probably going to be a lot of comments, and there probably will be a rebuttal to everything we just said. More power to you. Bring it on, because anything you can say has to be better than the 2 videos I watched trying to explain all the colors of the fucking rainbow, because I'm sorry, it was ridiculous. Don't go from the movies to the comic book and tell me that there's blaze orange, crimson orange, light orange, dark orange. No, there's not. That was the color orange the artist picked that particular day. That was his favorite variation of orange. There are not 30 different orange lightsabers. Stop it. That's my point.
My whole point
is,
that's my point. If your lightsaber gem is indicative of your abilities as a Jedi, then you should not be able to change lightsaber colors.
You would not be able to wield another lightsaber built by another individual.
Skywalker wielded the green one, right?
Well, no, he wielded his father's.
No, he wielded,
which was blue. He built his own, which was green.
Yeah. So, and in lore here, it's not in the movies. He eventually wielded a yellow one because he dual wielded a yellow, or not a yellow one, a red one. He did wield a red one. I promise you.
That was
later in the story. It's later. After he rebuilt the Jedi Academy, he wielded a red one.
You probably won't even see that in the new series, which starts in December, kids.
Maybe not. We'll see.
You're not going to see that. You're not going to see that.
But that was a good Star Wars conversation. I really enjoyed that conversation.
I think I really enjoyed the fact that we have segued from DC to Dark Horse, and now we're going to Marvel it up. I like that.
Agent Carter.
I like that. We covered 3 comic book companies in
Agent
one thing.
Carter is becoming one of my favorite shows to watch.
It is. The first hour of the 2-hour premiere, I was just kind of like, okay, you're doing something. It's Avengers related. I'm going to watch it. That's it. Second hour, wait a minute. We're doing something interesting. After the 3rd episode, wow.
Show's really good.
I'm hooked.
This show.
I absolutely love it. And next week, bringing back the Howling Commandos. Now I'm on board. You are speaking my language.
This show is really good.
They're building it properly. And the characterization of Howard Stark having every one of Tony's poor personality defects, that's the best. That's what makes it. That's what makes it, because in the movies, you only see Howard as being this uptight, pompous dick. Like, I'm smarter than you, and I'm making a ton of money. Go fuck yourself. And then in the show, you're seeing him as Tony is. Just this womanizing, I can't get enough booze guy. Love it. Absolutely love it. Nice. Providing a perfect backstory.
Yeah. And who do you think that girl is that killed that dude with the little pistol minigun thing?
Dude, no. What? Is that pistol automatic? And then, bam, she breaks all Yoda on his ass.
I think that is, you want to know my theory on this? I think that is Somehow she was related to Black Widow, like her mother maybe, or maybe her grandmother.
That'd be fun.
It'd be awesome.
That would be fun. That'd
She
be
is
fun
of
for the
age to have a
series.
kid. If she had a kid now, like what's it, 85, 45, 1945, right? 45, 46.
46-ish, I think.
If she had a kid now, and that kid grew up and had a kid, her daughter.
That kid
That's
would
about
be Black
my
Widow.
dad's name. My dad right now is about 65. He was born in 48.
My dad was born in 49, so yeah.
And if they had a kid, they'd be about our age. And Black Widow's about, what, 28, 29, 30 in the movie?
I actually give her early 30s.
Yeah. So that could be indicative of that.
That'd be nice. That'd be fun. It'd be just another one of those fun things.
How weird would it be if, stay with me on this, Howard Stark is technically her grandfather by blood. Boom.
Your mind.
Because he did go to her apartment once, didn't he?
Yeah, he came out of there the second time.
Yeah.
The first time he was across the hall. The second time he was up the hall.
Yeah.
Next
So
door, like
that could be.
that's gonna be fun stuff. See,
stuff.
But that's what you can do. That's why I love Marvel. Everything they do, and not that DC is completely absent of it, but Marvel has done a fantastic job with keeping charm in everything they've done.
I'll give you that.
Everything they've done is charming. There's this huge series. I watched Avengers again for the 3 millionth time last night, and I actually watched it on TV, and I still loved it. I didn't put in the Blu-ray. I actually watched it on FX, and I actually watched it because then I get pee breaks, and that's awesome.
If you watch Guardians of the Galaxy compared to Avengers, there's so much more charm and character in Guardians.
No.
Avengers, like, here's the story.
Guardians of the Galaxy brought in that heartfelt emotion. We've already had this discussion. But up until that point, and Marvel still retains it, even with both of their series, they have that charm in it to where you're like all into it. It's all serious. It's all like, oh, I'm all suspended. And then boom, it's like, oh.
I saw good YouTube videos comparing DC and Marvel.
Do we literally have another 20 things to talk about, or are you just not
that's
deleting
top
them?
10. Okay. No, that's just the top 10 list. We're talking about Agent Carter.
I thought you were like adding shit.
They compared DC to Marvel as in which one's better. I don't remember all the criteria.
I don't think
eventually Marvel won because I thought there was some biased criteria in that.
I didn't say that Marvel was better than DC.
I'm just
said
showing
Marvel
what the
had
video
charm.
said.
I'm just maintaining my
the whole mindset on
that.
DC is that it's all about justice. And that's the whole mantra for most of their comic books, their comic book characters. It's all about justice. It's not so much about anything really like love or this or that.
It's not personal. It's just justice.
It's
right.
Yes.
It's legitimized by a set of rules and
Yes.
guidelines. Yes. Okay, I got you on that.
There's a bunch more on it, but I disagree. Like, who had the better superheroes? Who do you think has the better superheroes in general? Marvel or DC?
Marvel's funner to read, but DC is more relatable.
I think DC is more realistic too. So
that's why I said
it's
relatable.
more personal. It's more personal.
Well, DC has more of those average guys that have just put themselves in that position and literally done everything they can do to get there.
You know how we were talking.
Think about it. Like, count it. How many villains and we're not actually going to physically get an account because we ain't get that kind of time. But how many villains and heroes in the DC universe are just the peak physical or mental condition that a human being can possibly get to, or financial, and then go over to the Marvel universe and count those guys?
You want to know their theory on that? You want to know the theory?
There's one guy.
The video I watched.
Tony.
You want to know the theory on
Tony's
that?
it.
DC is trying to tell you that the world is dangerous and you need corporations to take care of you. That is the guy's. I hate that theory with a passion. I hate that theory with a passion.
I'm not going there. I'm not even going to entertain that with a conversation.
I think it shows more or less how if rich people in real life, or like the rich people in comic books, and actually cared about helping and saving people, how the world could be, how it could be a better place if they put the resources towards those kind of things. That's what I think that the comic book's showing. Not that, oh, we're under attack. We need the rich and powerful to save us. We can't live without them. It's really bullshit. That's a real liberal agenda. That's
one of those things that I have spent way too much time smoking hashish and reading comic books. This is the idea as I get
me what it said.
Comic books are not that complicated. I would love to think, I'm sure there's a hidden agenda somewhere, but I'd like to think that I just read it for fun. It just is what it is. Over here in Marvel, everyone is either A mutant, or B, from outer space, or C, well, one guy has a ton of money. That's it. You go over to DC, you got people that got a ton of money and trained themselves to peak physical condition. We have like 2 or 3 aliens floating around. And actually, no, most everyone's a freaking alien. And then there's just one subsect of maybe 35 characters that are mutated. Literally 35 characters. We probably couldn't even name 35 DC characters that had mutations. But we could probably name 35 that were from outer space. And I know we can name 3 that are rich.
Oh yeah, Adam, Arrow, and Batman.
Mm-hmm.
We thought about Steel. Isn't he rich? I think so.
Okay. Anyway, wow. How the fuck did we get that far?
A lot of the heroes.
What were we talking about?
A lot of the heroes in DC are just more relatable as people because a lot of them aren't really superheroes. They're superhuman in regards to they're the peak and extreme part. Like if a normal person like me or you ran into them, they could beat us with a pinky.
But
like you got Batman, you got Nightwing, Robin,
Red
Hood,
completely forgot about
Arrow,
those guys.
Arrow. There's more.
Riddler,
Catwoman,
Joker.
They're not.
Nobody has superpowers.
There are people with superpowers.
Well, they are, but in the Bat universe, it's few and far between.
You have Catwoman, Batgirl,
Poison Ivy. Well, Poison Ivy kind of like that. It's like Dr. Freeze.
Technically there's some mutation there. There's technically some sort of mutation.
Yeah. But Penguin, no.
Joker,
Harley
Penguin
Quinn
is just a mobster. The Riddler's just a genius trying to prove himself. He has an inferiority complex.
Baroni, Falcone.
Yeah, those are normal, real life situations you can deal with. Now there are supernatural things you have to deal with too, like Killer Croc,
Azrael.
Azrael can actually be portrayed as just a normal person,
but he had an Iron Man suit, sort of.
He Batman built it.
Well, yeah, but that's what Batman does.
But he was a normal guy. It was in the Bane series. Not getting off the topic here.
Okay, no, actually,
when Bane broke Batman's back, Azrael took over the suit, and Azrael is
Nightfall series.
Yes, Nightfall.
I showed you the comic book cover a couple weeks ago.
My favorite graphic novel of all time is Nightfall. But anyway,
I like.
So there's so much more in.
It's more
in DC that's more relatable and can actually you could
attain that if for whatever reason
you had the money you could literally be Batman. You could literally be one of those guys if you had the money and the resources and you peaked yourself. I figured out. I actually found a website that showed you, and it is certified by DC. The actual like stats of all the guys. Like what I mean by that is Batman, what he could bench. How much he could squat, how strong he was. Right. He could bench. I didn't know this. He could bench about 1,000 pounds, and he could squat 2,000. That is, I mean, he's not superhuman. He doesn't have superhero strength, but that is pretty superhuman. The highest benching total right now is in the Olympics is like 820.
Well, the only thing
that's only one rep. He can do that 4 or 5 times.
Well, the only thing I'm going to say is it has to be usable strength. It can't just be physical strength because after you get so big, you're useless.
Well, obviously that's not the case.
I'm just saying.
I'm
just saying like it's usable strength. He trained the right part of his body to help with the lifting.
I think
because if you look at a guy that usually lifts 800 pounds, his thighs and his biceps are the same size, and he can't tie his shoes or take a human piss.
He's
However, having said that, if you trained your core and some of the other muscles in your body to do that, you could get by with lifting 1,000 pounds with thighs like that and biceps like that because you're training the other muscles in your body to do more with less.
A good way to compare.
That's the thing to say about Batman because that's the argument. You can punch through a brick wall, but what else can you do?
A good comparison to that, and that's why Batman is always bested people who are way stronger than him. Because like Bane is like no neck. I'm really strong.
I got T-Rex arms. I can't beat you.
But another example of this is if anyone's ever watched Dragon Ball Z. In Dragon Ball Z, whenever Goku goes Super Saiyan, he does that. And He goes Super Saiyan. He's super strong and everything. Then he's learning to train and go like Super Saiyan, like level 2 and level 3, and he figures out that he needs to work out and stay slim because he'll lose his speed. There's a big part of that where Trunks, you know who Trunks is?
Yes.
Trunks is Vegeta's child from the future. He trains too, and he goes Super Saiyan like level 2 and level 3, but he gets really bulked up, and he's too slow. He's lost a lot of his martial arts advantage. And Goku learned that he needed to stay slim and just as fast and still put on the strength. Batman is the same way. He's mastered I have a feeling it's a chi thing. He has learned to like channel his chi. Like his whole like.
Yeah, but then you're taking him into the supernatural, and
it's not really.
Like,
I'm just going off what his modern martial arts are.
I am just saying.
He has mastered every martial arts on the face of the planet. So he probably has figured out a way to channel his body's energy in doing
into every hit. Yeah. Okay.
So he doesn't have to have arms this big to bench press 1,000 pounds. So
he can just focus his core.
He can focus his chi.
Core. I'll say core.
If you're benching, I guess you use a little bit of your core, but
you could use it all if you know how to properly focus your muscles.
Marvel goes more towards the really
science fiction side.
Out of the realms of possibility. I mean, Hawkeye's not exactly out of the realm.
Black Widow.
Which, if you think about it, Hawkeye's just a redo of Arrow.
Still fun.
An assassin version of Arrow.
Still fun.
And if you look at what's her name?
Black Widow.
Black Widow. That's
Black Canary.
Black Canary.
I think Black Widow came before Canary though.
I don't know. I wasn't there when they were doing it.
God, you're a fucking asshole. Blow it up. Otherwise, Stuart Scott wouldn't
you
know.
laugh at that internet. I don't know. I'd watch. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, that would be
might
fun.
film it too.
That would be fun. I'm gonna scroll with Johansson.
Oh man, that was nice.
He's gonna win that one. Anyway.
I wouldn't want to see more, dude.
Anyway.
Okay. So.
How far off topic did we get? Cause
we did, and we're still on Marvel. So
we started talking about Agent Carter.
The huge difference between the two is most of DC is about realistic things, other than like Superman and Green Lantern.
Yeah, but at least they keep them aliens. It's not just like they walked into a spider factory.
Okay, Hal Jordan is not an alien. He has an alien ring. I'll give you that, but he's not an alien. He's just a human.
Ooh, how about Tyrese as the new Green Lantern?
I like that.
I love it. I absolutely love it. That wasn't even on your topic of conversation, was it?
It wasn't, because I saw that last week and I didn't think of it until right now.
I brought it up.
I like it.
Tyrese.
My boy.
Don't screw it up.
Was it Tyrese?
Do not screw it up. Yeah, Tyrese. Don't screw it up. I love what you did in Fast. Do not screw this shit up.
I don't think you will.
Treat it right.
Terrific actor.
Treat it seriously. Ryan Reynolds even had the balls to go back and read the damn back issues and figure some shit out. So I expect you to do the same thing, because there truly is a black Green Lantern. Read your material. Get it right.
Jordan.
No, it's John something.
Well, okay, no, John, and I don't know the last name, comes,
he's the third.
He becomes
Earth Lantern.
Yeah, but that's after Hal Jordan becomes a Spectre.
Well, yeah, because he dies.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
But he doesn't.
But he also brings. That's no.
Hal Jordan's not the first Green Lantern, is it?
He's
the second. He's the first. No, there's two white and a black.
Hal Jordan.
God, I hate having this conversation. I hate having even had to say those words. I really do. This is white and black. Because I can't remember their names.
There's also a Black Flash. What's his name? Oh my God, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Bob.
No. God damn it! I do have to look that up.
Hey, you know what?
I'll look it up.
Let's save that conversation for.
We're good.
We're going to
continue what we're doing. I'll just look it up as an aside.
What the hell are we doing?
We're talking about
Agent Carter. I thought.
Agent Carter.
No, the Marvel universe is far more unrealistic than the DC universe. However, what Marvel's doing right now is actually very relatable and fun and enjoyable and great to watch. And the fact that they're bringing back the Howling Commandos next week. If you haven't watched Agent Carter yet, tune in this week, because that's going to be a solid tie-in to Captain America, and you're going to hate yourself if you don't see it, because it's just going to be solid fun. He is going to drive himself nuts over this. He's fact-checking during the podcast.
Sorry. What is... I got a new thing on this. Watch.
Well, the whole thing that I think is funny is he's got to pull out his phone even though his iPad is already ready to go. And actually, I probably could have borrowed it from my computer room. I'm just lazy.
Black Flash.
Black Flash. You're gonna get so much shit you don't even
I
know
don't
is
even
out there.
care. I'm not.
You're like 30 porn sites in there somewhere.
I'm fact checking. I'm not. It's not a race thing. I'm just fact checking what his name was. I've heard the name. I can't think of it right now.
Tyrese, don't screw it up, man. Don't screw it up.
Okay, this is Barry Allen, Johnny, Max Mercury, Wally West. That's his name.
Wally was black?
Wally West was black. Yes.
I thought Wally was white.
No, Wally West was black.
Okay.
Or it might be Max. Oh, okay. Three. Barry Allen, Wally West, and Max Mercury. And there's one other one, but the one other one is definitely not black.
Well, the other one's still an Allen.
What?
The other one's still an Allen.
Yeah. So sorry, I didn't mean to tail off right there. But
wow, we like spiraled all the way back to the beginning of this conversation. Now we're coming all the way back through.
Yeah, that would have been a great thing they could in Arrow. They could have thrown something in Arrow. The Spectre or Spectrum? Spectre.
It's spelled like theater.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Brings back. God, I hate wearing this.
Ollie after he dies. Which is part of the Kevin Smith story arc, so if you're not reading it, get it.
Yes. That was this.
13 episodes.
A head itch. Anyway.
You better not have lice.
I don't have lice.
Please?
No, it's just if my hair gets squished together like this, really, a hat sets on top of your head. This squishes all your hair together like this. It makes your head itchy. Yeah, I'm not shaving my head bald.
Problem solved.
I don't look good bald. I don't look as good as you bald.
Bald is beautiful.
Okay. Agent Carter. We'll get on this. Love the show. It's amazing. They have new twists every week. Stark is a dick.
Tony's, theoretical butler that's his computer system is named after his dad's butler.
Yeah.
Jarvis. Awesome sauce.
You know who plays the voice of Jarvis? In the movies?
No.
Damn, what's his name? You ever seen The Priest?
Yeah.
Guy who stars in that. That does the voice of Jarvis.
That's the guy.
Yes.
Really?
He's also in Wimbledon. He's also in
Priest.
Oh, if you've also seen not Angels and Demons, what's the other one? Da Vinci Code. He was the guy that does like all the killing for the professor.
Really?
That guy is the voice of Jarvis. I swear to you.
Interesting. Awesome stuff.
Yeah, and I like him. Oh, he's also in Knight's Tale. Heath Ledger mix with Heath Ledger. He's the guy who is the scholar, does all the writing and does all like the introductions and stuff like that. So
Kid needs a bottle. Keep it rolling.
Kid needs a bottle. Okay, Fantastic Four. I just watched the trailer. What do you think of it? I think they're taking a page out of DC's book.
They're making it a little darker than
A little
I think
serious.
they need
A
to.
little more serious.
I don't know. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I don't know about the black thing, but I like what they're doing.
The black thing.
I like I like that they're shaking that up a little bit because, quite honestly, the Fantastic Four was a little bit too white supremacist for me.
That's true.
A little too white supremacist for me. Like, because they're all white.
You need the formula or just give them water?
No, formula's back here.
Oh, okay. Good, sure. Breaking stuff. He's breaking stuff. So I watched the trailer for like one time. It's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad either. I did enjoy it. Oh, God. I just wish that all they had was comic book movies. Sometimes I really wish that because I love comic book movies. You have no idea how much I enjoy comic book movies. They're so fun. There's so much lore. You can research on them. It's amazing. By the way, Game of Thrones, can't wait. April. It's too far away. God. By the way, I got a new phone. If you've never actually used the Windows phone, I recommend it. Of all the phones I've used, I would have to choose between this or the iPhone. And the iPhone is good, but I don't like it's too strict to how the platform, the interface. You can't change it. You can't alter it the way you want. I mean, you have to be exactly the way they want. On this, I can make apps bigger. I can make them smaller. I can make, for example, if I open up my home page, you can't see it. I have different tiles for everything. I can make that tile as big as I want, or I can make this tile as small as I want. And I have more of the interface. I have more control over my interface. That's the first thing I like. Second, I can add memory to this. Now this one I technically can't because this one, for some reason, I got a new phone and they sent me the wrong one. But it does have 3 times the memory, so I'm not going to worry about it until I come across it. It has about 60 gigs. I do love this phone. I love the feel. The iPhone, again, it's a great product. They really cornered the market on it. They really do. The only downside to this is I really wish you could get the same things you can get on your iPhone on this, like Clash of Clans, so on and so forth. I really wish you could do that. But other than that, I really enjoy this phone. Anyone who is anyone should get this phone. I wish that more people would buy it because then they would put more stuff on this phone. The only downside is it doesn't have the apps that the iPhone has. That's the only downside I have to this phone. Other than that, as long as I can continuously get the Windows phone, I will until the day I die. I really enjoy this phone. I can't explain how much I enjoy this phone. Graphics are amazing. Sorry, girlfriend texted me. So, Fantastic Four. It's okay. I'm curious to see how it's going to play out. And when Chad gets back, we will do our top 10. Our top 10 this week will be, my head's just going to itch some more.
I'm not done with the Fantastic Four yet because I'm still, I don't know how I feel about it. I really don't know how I feel about it. The last one was fine.
I didn't like the last two.
The second one was terrible. The second one was just terrible.
I just didn't think that the movie was, I do like, don't get me wrong, I'll watch any comic book movie, but I just don't get the feeling that they took the movie as serious as they should. I never got that impression.
Well, you know what? It might have been. You know what? I'll give you that. It was too playful. It was too playful. One serious enough.
The world's gonna come to an end, and you're goofing about it. It doesn't come off as serious.
And you're going to get someone like Dr. Doom, who was no bullshit serious business in
and Silver Surfer,
and you're over there like,
and Silver
I'm gonna
Surfer.
be funny about it. No, damn it, Fox. Come on, you have three of the best Marvel franchises.
Now they're fixing one, which is great.
Yeah, X-Men is getting has gotten repaired.
They can still fuck it up, but
well, I think they're going to do just fine with the Apocalypse storyline. I think they're going to do great. Well, actually, technically 4 if you want to count Wolverine as a separate franchise, but whatever. Spider-Man, you're getting it right. We're in a disagreement about that, but
that's Sony, not Fox.
Fox doesn't have that?
No, that's Sony.
Okay, never mind. Okay,
Which Sony is relinquishing some of the rights to Disney so they can be in the Avengers.
They should.
And absolutely, I agree.
That'd be fun.
There needs to be a huge comic book conglomerate that
talking Fox out of their money is going to be the hardest part because Hugh Jackman would absolutely love to be a part of that.
You have Fox, the TV show, playing Gotham, but they own X-Men. Don't you think that's kind of weird? You have your toe in both?
What did I say to you when Gotham came out? How come the CW didn't get it? I thought the CW, which is owned by Warner Brothers, would have had the rights to that.
I wish the CW would have got it, and here's why. Because if you have here's CW,
you could have connected everything to a nice
yes, you could do crossovers like that with nothing. If you were to do a crossover from Gotham to CW, or Gotham to like Flash or something, it's going to cost a lot of money to go both ways on this.
Yeah, and they
WG owns the rights to DC.
I bet you bottom dollar that Fox bought the rights to Gotham just to keep that out of it.
Keep what out of it?
Just keep Batman out of it.
Why?
Because, well, quite honestly, if you're looking at DC moneymakers, who's your moneymaker? Superman, Batman. That's where your cash flow is.
Well, I like that they're actually introducing the world to more comic book characters and stuff. Can't wait. I want to see a Wonder Woman movie. I
want to see a good Wonder Woman movie.
A good one, yeah. Well, the TV show was okay. She was hot. The girl that got playing Wonder Woman is downright freaking gorgeous. So I'm curious.
I'm just hoping. I just hope they stay true to the character, and it's just not like 30 minutes of eye candy.
What we were saying
earlier
about
better than that.
Katy Perry. I thought Katy Perry, even though she obviously would not be able to do the fighting stuff, looks. If you put the costume on her, she would have the perfect look of Wonder Woman. I think she has a very what? That's what I like about her.
Yeah, but
think that's
You
why.
gotta make these fighting women functional.
Functional?
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying she would fit the costume on her.
When's the last time you saw a big-breasted gymnast?
Power Girl? No, never mind. Power Girl.
Wow,
was another-
seriously?
No, I thought you were gonna say big-breasted superhero. I was
No,
gonna say
a
Power Girl.
big-breasted
Power
gymnast.
Girl.
No, I have yet to see a small-chested super heroine.
Let me think about that for a second.
Other than the Teen Titans cartoon show that was on Cartoon
I'm not
Network.
I wouldn't go that route. I
I'm
was
just
trying to think
saying.
for a second. Catwoman, I guess she has kind of a trait as being busty.
She's definitely a C.
I don't know. Gwyneth Paltrow? Not Gwyneth Paltrow. Michelle Pfeiffer and Anne Hathaway. Well, Anne Hathaway actually has pretty nice sized boobs, and she did a great job. She does. No, she does.
This is how the conversation.
You ever seen
is
is it Havoc?
How much Havoc?
Havoc. I'm pretty. Yeah, there's a scene where she's supposed to hook with a dude, and she decides not to, and she's like topless, and she has some pretty decent sized boobs. Let me make sure.
I don't even know.
Let me show us the right name of the movie real quick. That's where you need to have IMDb up.
My kid is pissed right now. I have no idea why.
Anne Hathaway topless.
That's his search. I, however, will not do that search.
Google was like, "Are you sure you want to look for this?"
Absolutely.
So they're not bad.
Yeah, they got that kind of like pouty dog thing going on.
Yeah.
They're good.
They're not bad size.
There, I told you it
What
was
movie
up.
was it in? What?
Boom.
I'll watch it later. Yeah, Anne Hathaway.
Okay, anyway, DC, don't screw it up. Don't make Wonder Woman eye candy. Make her a serious character because she has a fantastic story. She has a fantastic story. It needs to be told properly.
The girl who plays her is like Gal Gadot.
Gail, whatever. Doesn't matter. It's pointless to this conversation.
Yeah, and she's like, I think that's her name. She's not very busty, I guess would be the best way to put it.
Well, I'm just saying, don't throw Wonder Woman in there just to be eye candy. Make it pertinent, make it important, and do justice by it. I mean, at least Marvel can say they've done that. Everyone they've thrown into a movie has had a reason for being there. It's not just like, oh, Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson's hot in anything. Let's put her there.
See, that's her as Wonder Woman.
That's all.
It's just a suit that makes her boobs look big, I think. But I'm trying to see anything else. God, do I like Wonder
And apparently, from the conversation I heard in the back, JD loves this film.
I do. I love the Windows phone. I don't like the iPhone.
Anyway.
I don't like the control of the interface. I think it's very limited to
iPhone.
If I didn't have this, I'd have an iPhone.
I'm still rocking a 4S, so love my phone.
I had the 3S. That's
Yeah.
the one I had. It didn't last me 6 months. This is
Actually,
like
I like the square shape. Oh my god, I'm not getting into fucking cell phone reviews right now.
all right.
Stop
Anything else about Fantastic Four? We're going on almost 2
I
hours.
hope it doesn't suck.
Let's do our top 10. We're going on 2 hours.
Ladies first,
All right, go ahead.
since you're all about titties and shit.
All right, I'll go first. This is top 10 Bruce Willis movies. Honorable mention: Die Hard 4, Cop Out, Red. There's probably some other movies I just didn't throw in there. Looper. I thought Joseph Gordon-Levitt was better in that movie.
Which one?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, well, it was fun to watch.
It was fun. It was a good movie.
It was a good choice as Joseph Gordon-Levitt as a younger Bruce Willis. I thought that was great casting.
The idea of the movie in general is just great.
Well, I thought so. I don't agree with that theory of time travel. That's another conversation.
Okay, number 10 is Pulp Fiction. Probably one of the better movies of all these, but he wasn't like the main character, so I can't give him the credit of it being like one of his best movies. But he did play a good part in that movie.
Yes.
Just awesome kick-ass. The katana scene with was a guy. I don't care about his name. Number 9 is Die Hard 3. Very good movie. All the Die Hards are good, and I'll get to that here in a second. The third one, Samuel L. Jackson and him, just something about them two on screen together. They're just, I don't know. It seems like they would fight off screen all the time. They're on screen, that tension is just there, and they just seem like
they work well off and with each other.
Yeah. And okay, the Jackal. I honestly think that Bruce Willis needs to do more villain role. He should have done more villain roles.
Mm-hmm.
He is such a stone cold killer The face looks just so stone cold killer. I enjoy that so much about him.
Can I go off topic?
Sure.
Lex Luthor.
I think he's too old for Lex Luthor, but
I'm just saying. Okay,
I think he's
anyway.
too buff for Lex Luthor, but
I
I like who they have as Lex Luthor, though.
I'm just throwing it out there. Anyway.
The Jackal. Number 7. Very funny movie. It's one of his first movies that really got him popular. Blind Date. Him and, who is it, Kate Basinger? Basinger?
How do you say that?
I never.
How do I say this?
I don't know.
I know, that's a family
But
guy
she's
joke.
like,
Thank you, Seth.
yeah, she's that woman's gorgeous. Even to this day, I think she's like in her 50s, late 50s, and she still looks gorgeous. She's still a gorgeous woman. For 50, she's amazing looking. Find me at 15, whatever.
My wife's gonna look hotter at 50.
Okay, I'm not going to disagree with that. Last Man Standing, number 6. Just a really good movie.
Great.
I really enjoyed that movie. Number 5, I don't know if you had this or not. Hostage.
That was good, but it's not one of my favorites.
I liked it because not only he did good in that movie, but everyone else in that movie did pretty well. The little boy who was sneaking around the house,
Yeah.
he did a good job. The girl, the daughter of the guy, she did a good job. The villain in that, whoever the guy was, he got like stabbed in the cheek, and then like used the blood like to write stuff into
Oh, I remember.
the villain in that. The guy who just was a little bit crazy, like burn the house down or whatever, like burn it or something like that. That's what he wrote on the wall on the.
That was good stuff.
It was great stuff. I really enjoyed that movie. Number 4, The Fifth Element. Which the movie, if they redid that, they could make it so much better with better graphics and a lot better CGI. But it's good for what it is. I know, it's great for what it is.
What's that little
The whole plastic future thing.
I don't know, that crazy little black dude. Chris
Tucker.
Yeah.
He was funny in it.
He was great in that movie.
Gary Oldman was in that.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he
played
villain.
the bad guy.
And you obviously can't.
Didn't look like him, of course.
You obviously can't forget the great, what's her name? Djokovic?
Mila Jovovich. Oh, hot in anything.
God, do I love those pants.
That bitch could wear ice and make it hot.
That girl can wear anything or nothing and make it hot.
Bitch could wear Antarctica and it would be hot.
Yes. She could just go to Antarctica.
Turn that place into a tropical jungle.
That is a good looking woman.
Huge.
And she's one of those women. We were talking about this earlier. She's not very busty.
Nope.
She's she's very fit.
Right amount of form in all the right places.
She takes care of her body. She lives. I guarantee that girl hits the gym just about every day.
I have yet to see anything she's in that I didn't think, damn.
I mean, she's not exactly look attractive in the Resident Evil, like face wise. But they don't make her to be that way. She's made not to be that way. But
well, I'm sad that they got away from the beginning of the first 3 Resident Evil films. She was naked as shit, and then they just got away from that. I don't know why, because that was the most enjoyable part of the movie. Anyway.
But very beautiful woman. That girl's
she is very
flat out just a very sexy woman, and she doesn't have to. She doesn't like.
She just exudes it. It's not. It's all about that girl. She has that look, but she's not great looking.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
She's like in her 40s. She still looks that good.
She's sexy in and of herself.
Oh yeah.
No Photoshop for her.
Yeah. Well, in The Fifth Element, every girl in the future looks like a slut. Every girl in the future has like cleavage out to here. That's probably why she looks so good. Every girl's got like cleavage, and there she is, like with her reserve shirt on, ran her like pants super tight, and her shirt cut off like right below her boobs.
See, I tried to talk the wife into wearing that outfit, and she was just not about it. Like I thought that was a beautiful costume because I'm bald already. So Fifth Element, Bruce Willis, Mila Jovovich,
perfect.
just good time.
Great costume.
The baby could be something.
Number 3 is Die Harder or Die Hard 2. Die Hard 2.
No, it's not technically Die Harder, but that's what we all call it.
That's what I call it. Amazing. I love that movie. It's not as action packed as Die Hard, but I really just enjoyed the movie. First off, it's centered in DC, so I'm a big DC guy.
Yeah.
Dallas Airport. I like the villain in it. Both of them, the black guy and the white guy.
I don't like how naked he is at the beginning of it.
I don't like that either.
Who does that? Who does yoga naked in front of a mirror? Like, that's kind of creepy.
I think, actually, if you think about it, everyone does yoga in front of a mirror.
Well, but is egomaniacal...
It's in his house. He knows the camera there.
Is egomaniacal as I am, I wouldn't even work out in front of a mirror. It's just like, no, that's too much me for right now. I need a break. I need to watch Tony Horton do his thing so I know I'm doing my shit right. Just
that whole movie is...
It's great.
It's great.
It
it's
is
awesome.
Fantastic.
Some real errors in their mindset of things. Heads up, if a plane's going to be taking off, I don't think they're going to be going 20 miles an hour, which is the speed that they've generated on they tested on MythBusters on how fast the plane was on Die Hard 2 when they were doing the fight at the end.
Otherwise, yeah, they'd been torched.
They'd have been
off the wings.
Well, they would have been able to fight for sure. They'd have been doing everything they could just to hang on and not fall off. You know,
it's still fun.
It's still fun. I'm just saying the physics are a little off. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, that's all right.
Little side. They did test this on MythBusters. Brandon, they got 3 new episodes out. 3 that you would like. One is a Indiana Jones episode.
Okay.
They test the whip. Couple things about the whip. First thing, they test to see if, like in the first Indiana Jones movie, you know when he disarms the guy with the whip.
You're killing myself.
Me? Sorry. Remember when he disarms the guy with the whip?
Yeah.
That can literally be done.
Yes.
It's not unplausible. By 2 ways. By hitting it out of his hand.
Snap it, grab it.
Or you can snap it out of his wrist and pull it into his wrist. So that is in the realms of possibilities. Second thing they tested. Remember when he has to throw the whip over and swing across and then undo it? You can do that.
That can be done.
That can be done. Everything about that movie is considered plausible. Remember when he's running through the temple and the things are shooting at him?
Mm-hmm.
They tested it 3 different ways. They did like a second delay, like touching it, and then the pressure plate going down, then things shooting. Then they did a 30 seconds where there's just less time, and then they did an instant. Instantly, as soon as you touch it,
a second, a half a second, and then
an instant. Yeah.
Okay.
They did all of them. All of them are plausible to get out of there without getting kicked.
Okay.
One nipped the back of his jacket, like right here. They used paintballs, so you can tell if it hit him. One nipped the back of his jacket because he turned his body as he was running. If he could just straight out run out of there, you'll never got touched.
Okay.
So
you can do that.
There's another one. They did a Simpsons episode, which was pretty cool. And anyway, the one I really wanted to tell you about was there's an episode where, and this is what got me to that, where there's a commercial, I think it was either last year in the Super Bowl or somewhere in like the last 2 years, where these 2 guys are playing like tennis on top of an airplane wing. And they tested that is actually possible. At the speeds that they were going, at the ends of like an old like the Red Baron kind of airplane.
Oh, okay.
And they can
World War II by wing.
Yeah, at about 80 miles an hour, you can still play tennis back and forth.
Interesting.
Yeah, because of the distance, if you don't hit the ball somewhat hard, the ball will get there without the wind catching it.
Nice.
So they did test it. So that's a little aside. It just made me think of that.
Wow.
With the Die Hard.
This episode has been the most tangential episode we've ever gone through.
This is fun. I enjoy it.
That's the point. That's what the people like, though, is what was our comment? That they like that it's honest and it's just here and we're not editing anything. It is what it is.
It's real, and we're 2 people having real conversations in front of you. That's what this is. Number 2 is Die Hard.
The original.
Yes, the original. Very, very good movie. One of my favorite movies of all time. It was on TV the other night, and I happened to want to watch basketball, but I was like, I kind of want to watch it. Who's the villain in that? Alan Rick?
Yeah. Alan Rick.
Rickman? Is it Rickman or Rick? I don't know. Anyway, he's in it. Great villain. Really enjoyed the movie.
Fantastic job.
Those movies and like Lethal Weapons are like some of my best like series of movies. Die Hard and Lethal Weapons. Even though I have not seen the new Die Hard movie, and I don't think I ever will. I don't want it ruined. I like Die Hard 4. Die Hard 4 was great. I don't want it ruined.
It's not fantastic, but
even though Varro, the guy who plays Varro, is in it.
I know, but I don't know.
Spartacus.
Put Bruce Willis in
anything.
Suit of shit, and I would go watch it. Put him in a Broadway musical. I would pay to go see it. I love Bruce Willis. Anyway.
Number 1 is Armageddon.
Wow.
Armageddon is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, we've already had that.
Determined. He did a great job in that movie. He does a great job in every movie, but that movie in particular, I just really enjoyed. So, it's funny. He's funny. I thought he was a perfect guy for the role he had to play. And you know what? I wish he would. A couple years ago, they were making a Master Chief like Halo movie.
Mm-hmm.
He was initially picked to be Master Chief when he was younger. It was about
let him be older because it's well established that Master Chief is scientifically indoctrinated. Just let it be the fucking voice. Come on.
But do you not see him as Master Chief like perfect?
I thought it'd be awesome. I mean, he's not tall enough, but I mean, it's
He's
just a
6'2".
voice. It's just a voice.
He's 6'2".
Yeah, but Master Chief's supposed to be like
6'6". He's 6'6".
6'6". I thought it was like 7 something.
Let's figure that out.
Whatever.
Oh,
anyway,
another awesome thing about my phone. Watch this. Hold on.
Master Chief
I have
is a dick.
Cortana. I have Cortana on my phone. How tall is Master Chief from Halo?
The fact that he actually had to specify Halo makes me sad.
6'10" tall.
Okay, well,
My bad.
definitely
7
not.
foot.
Yeah, okay.
Which makes sense because the leads are pretty big too.
Yeah, but him as the voice of that would be fun.
There's not too many actors that could pull off a 6'10".
I just think it would be.
I mean, they had to hire an ex-NFL football player to play what's supposed to be a 7 foot tall giant as the Mountain in Game of Thrones.
I'm just saying him as the voice because he's wearing his helmet 90% of the time. He's kind of like Judge Dredd. You never see his damn face.
Which, by the way, I can't wait for that movie either.
Dredd was last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're making
second
another
one.
one?
They're making a second one.
Oh, outstanding. Anyway, as far as Bruce Willis goes,
Outstanding.
and I am the authority on Bruce Willis because I love that dude. I followed his career from get-go. I actually have his album, The Return of Bruno, from 1986, so y'all can suck it. At number 10, I have The Jackal. At number 9, I have Die Hard 3. At number 8, I have The Whole Nine Yards because I like him in the comedic roles. I think it's fun to see him do that action comedy thing, and I think he's very, very good at it. But I do agree with him. He plays an excellent villain. Lost track. 7, I have The Fifth Element. Number 6, I have Red.
I didn't put
that
Red.
Was fun. It was
I said
fun.
Red. I said honorable mention.
It was still fun.
I haven't seen it. I just heard great things about it. I've been trying to get around to watch it.
It's
but
fun.
I just haven't got around to it yet.
Okay, number 5, I have the original Die Hard. And number 4, I have Unbreakable because him and Samuel L. Jackson doing anything is fun, and that's why Die Hard 3 is on there.
There's a difference between his best movies and what movies we like the best. His best movie, one of his best movies, was The Sixth Sense. Is that even on your list?
No, I didn't even.
That is one.
I chose Unbreakable over The Sixth Sense because I just I personally enjoyed that movie more.
Yeah, there's a difference between the best movies and the best movies we like. The best movies are a lot like Pulp Fiction is like one of the best movies on any of our lists, but it's not the best Bruce Willis movie in our opinion.
Yeah,
okay,
sense. Let's put it to you this way, kids. He's not Siskel, and I'm sure as fuck not Ebert. This is just our personal choice. We are not critics. We are not the best there is at what I'm the best there is at what I do, and he's the best he is at what he do. But we are not getting paid.
No one's
for
better
our
being
opinions.
me than me.
We're just having fun with this. So anyway, I was at Unbreakable.
Go ahead.
Number 3, I have Armageddon.
Or Harvard.
Yeah,
I'm mega conscious.
I can spell whatever I want.
You can't spell.
They can't see it. I knew what I was talking about.
As much as you give me shit about my vernacular, I can give you shit about your spelling.
That is the only thing misspelled on that entire list. I even spelled Jackal right. Who needed help with Jackal?
No, it wasn't my fault. Okay, Jackal's actually has an E in it.
No.
Jackal has an E, not an A. So there's two things screwed up.
Hey, it was spelled right. Look, it didn't go.
No. Jackal has an E, not an A.
Didn't autocorrect it. I'm just saying. Anyway, fuck it. Doesn't matter.
Fuck it.
Armageddon's awesome. It's a heartfelt story. It's cheesy as shit. It really is. But it has so many cool moments in it. Like, that is one of the very few movies I can pop in and I'm like,
I'm in.
Whisking away a tear from my eye. Like, if it comes on, if I'm randomly channel surfing and it comes on, fuck it. My day is done. I ain't doing shit from that point on until that movie's over. I love it.
And then we're about to do a podcast.
I might actually tear up now, pussy.
I love that movie.
Number 2, Die Hard 2. I just absolutely love it. I actually think it's better than the original. Just the characterization, you get a little bit more into John's head. Like, I don't know. I just love it. And the fact that, like, the dad from Family Matters is sitting back, just eating Twinkies. Like, so much fun. Just the facts, man. Just the facts.
What's that from?
Well, that's from Dragnet, but that's besides the point. That was actually from Die Hard 2 that he says.
It's actually from another movie he did, too.
No, that was from Dragnet.
And another movie he did. One of his earlier movies.
Which one, son? Blind Date?
No. Go ahead.
Was it Moonlighting? Was it from the series?
Yes, it's from Moonlighting.
Thank you. And my number one favorite Bruce Willis movie, and everyone's going to fucking hate me for this, Hudson Hawk. I absolutely love that movie. I would watch it back to back, over and over and over again. You mismarketed the shit out of it, but damn it, it's just so much fun to watch. It is. It's him and Danny Aiello singing "Swinging on a Star." It's on my iPod. I have the entire album in my phone. I love that movie. I will always love that movie. You're not going to talk me out of it.
I love it. Hudson Hawk's a good movie.
What was
the other one you had that I didn't have on my list?
Red?
No.
Whole 9
No,
yards.
there's another one you mentioned that you said. No, there's another one you mentioned that I wasn't. No, you said The Jackal. My bad.
No, Moonlighting.
Moonlighting. I thought it was a TV show.
It was a TV show,
Yeah, that's
but
not a
I'm just
movie.
making the point. Wow, and that's podcast number 10, Joe.
Yeah, 2 hours and 10 minutes.
That's a nice way to celebrate it.
It is. Hopefully you got a chance to watch the whole. If you watch the whole thing, awesome. We'll be our top 10 next week. Next week will probably be our last week of football. For a while.
There'll be like a little.
We'll have like 5 minutes in the beginning.
There's always something happening. There's be a coaching change
Or there'll be like a big signing. I hope the rest of the signed up too.
Bullshit. We'll see. There's always a
You don't have the rule in the NBA that you have in the NFL. You have in the NBA. In the NBA, if you're signed for your original team, you take more money. It doesn't count against the salary cap. In the NFL, it just doesn't matter. You can switch teams.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Point is, next week football will be at minimum. The podcasts are probably going to get shorter from now on until April 12th, and then things are going to pick up because me and him could argue Game of Thrones.
Well, actually, Arrow this season ends in March. I think Flash does too.
That quick? Oh, Carter's going to be over
got 10
in
episodes.
Another 4 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, it's only 8 episodes, so
Yeah.
we have 4 episodes left of Carter. But then you're gonna have
You need to get caught up on POI.
POI, Person of Interest.
Dude, Asher's in it now.
I heard
The
that.
dude who
I
played
did hear
Asher,
that.
he's in it
I
now,
have
and
so
he's
many
playing a good guy.
I have so many shows that I got to catch up on.
You have got to get caught up on that because it is
Walking
awesome.
Dead is another one.
Walking Dead doesn't come back till February. You need to get caught up on that by February because that's going to add to the conversation.
Person of Interest. I have not watched like season 1. I will not watch. You know me. I won't jump into like season 4 or 5. I have to watch season 1
Get the fuck on it, boy.
I need that dang. I need that chamber, the hyperbolic chamber or whatever, so I can watch all my shows in like one day, and I can come out here and talk about it. That's what I want.
I would love for you to have that. However, if I had the hyperbolic chamber, I'd be doing other shit.
I would watch show, work out, watch show, work out, watch show, work out. I'd come out with no neck, like seriously.
Get a fucking treadmill.
Treadmill.
Fucking work out and watch TV.
I would do.
I will sell you a
I will
sell you a universal weight bench for $50.
I have nowhere to put it. I would buy that right now if I had somewhere to put it.
I'm just telling you, $50.
You think I don't already have one?
But I don't know. I don't give a shit if you do.
My workout, I'm more worried about toning down and slimming down.
He wants nice titties.
Like for example, I gave your wife all these workouts. Why do you think I have them? P90X, Insanity. I have T25 if she wants that.
I think you gave us T24.
Did I give you? Okay, just making sure.
We have everything.
You have everything?
I think we have the buffet.
You have the whole thing?
We don't have plyo, but I don't think she would do plyo. It's all fucking.
No, you have plyo because it's plyo in Insanity.
Yeah, but it's not that fucking straight. There's actually a plyo workout now. It's just called plyo.
Yeah, it's all junk training.
Fucking yoga and some dumb shit. If it works for you, it works for you. It
I
doesn't work for
prefer
me.
those workouts because you lose a lot more weight. It actually, well, my preference is to go to the gym and actually do a good power workout.
What?
I
I
don't
don't
have-
like the gym.
I'm just saying I don't. I understand why your wife doesn't like that. My point is I'm a big dude, so if I do a power workout, it's easy for me to turn this into muscle rather than cutting all the weight off.
Oh, Fred. I'm not going to use your last name, but Fred, putting windows in front of the treadmills, in front of your workout establishment, causes perversion to happen, being as how there's a bar not even half a mile down the road. So fix that, and you probably have a higher female clientele. Just saying.
They have plenty of good females that go there.
I'm just saying. I've heard a lot of women complain that they don't want to like to run on the treadmill because it's in front of a window. And
Yeah.
Girls.
Well, why wouldn't you put
get a lot of that.
Why wouldn't you put TVs in front of them? Well, they have.
Well,
TVs
my question is, why wouldn't you put the treadmill facing the other direction? But that's just me.
Their asses. Yeah.
They wouldn't.
I guess it's more efficient.
I'm just saying. That's the only complaint I have this week.
When I work out there,
I don't have any corrections either.
this is how I work out there. When I worked out there, I would go there and I'd run for about 45 minutes. Which, come to find out, actually counters you losing weight.
Yes, a lot.
Because you get you drop in certain hormone levels in your not whatever the hormone is that is accompanied with depression. When you run that much, it actually builds up and actually makes you retain weight.
You get depressed.
Yes, because your body gets tired and it does that to counter it. So I did that, and then I would do like a cycle workout. I'd do jump rope, and I go through like 5 different things. Jump rope, 5 different things, and that was like the best workout I've had in a long time. That would be my first workout. My second workout, I'd go back and do all like dumbbells. The whole workout would be strictly dumbbells. Run again, strictly dumbbells. Jump rope, cycle through. I wish I just had more time and more energy to do it. I really do. I don't want to get too much into this, but I'm going to talk to you about that here in a minute.
I don't work out.
Yeah, that's all natural.
It's all natural.
All right, well, we'll see you guys. I'll have this posted by tonight, hopefully.
Next week, then we get to argue about the Super Bowl.
Oh, I got our top 10 for next week.
What?
Top 10 Super Bowl commercials.
Oh my God, that means I have to watch the entire fucking thing.
No, you can watch them online.
I guess
you can watch them online. You got Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Watch them online.
It's not that I hate.
We'll do top 5.
I go to
10's a lot. We'll do top 5.
I go to bed early on Sunday nights because
So
I go to work at 4 in the morning.
Here's what we have to
kids, I go to bed early.
Here's what we have to talk about. We have the Super Bowl itself. Okay, you got to come down to the lake and watch it.
It's 6:30.
Yeah.
They're not gonna wrap that shit up before 11 o'clock. I gotta be in bed by fucking 9.
You can leave it half time.
When is the last time I showed up at a bar to watch anything and left at half of nothing?
Yeah, that's true.
Bullshit.
Let's see here.
Issues.
We have the game itself. We have Katy Perry performing at halftime.
Oh, so we're going to talk about Katy Perry.
I will for 5 minutes. She's a beautiful woman.
Dude, we started talking about Star Wars for a 5-minute conversation. We saw what the fuck happened there.
Yeah.
So it'll be 20 minutes on Katy Perry's ass and another 20 on her boobs and 5 minutes on her lips.
JJ Watt, you're a lucky man.
If he gets MVP.
I want him to get MVP.
I did, yeah. End of argument. We already established that.
And what the commercials? That'll be our top. We'll do top 5. Top 5 commercials for the Super Bowl. Anything else you want to add for this podcast? And then we have our arrow and normal stuff. So.
Live long and prosper.
Yeah, bitches. I got it. One thing to tell you. It was really funny yesterday.
Man, that was gonna be like my peace out. Now I'm just.
I have to tell this to the podcast. It's really funny. Okay, you know how my conversation with TJ about that conversation, I rebutted him, and he's like, well, whatever. Last night I had another one of those situations. On my phone, since I don't have great signal, I have Verizon, and Garrett County Verizon sucks.
Yeah.
I downloaded I have an app called WhatsApp, where you can use Wi-Fi to send messages and pictures of people. Mm-hmm. If you can't send them over like your normal signal, okay?
Yeah, we have Haytel for that too.
Yeah. I have WhatsApp, and I have a bunch of my friends do it, but he won't get it. His logic is, I should have to download an app for you to send me something. You need to buy a new phone. That's what it is. I'm like, you're kidding me. So it's rather than spending 30 seconds to download an app, and it takes literally no memory and it's free, you expect me to buy a new phone and change my complete phone service just to message you pictures. That's stupid.
Okay, wait a minute. This is the guy that took a picture of himself cleaning off his satellite on his roof and put it on Facebook?
Yes.
All right.
No.
All right.
Watch. Listen, this is great.
Matthew McConaughey that.
At his work, he was talking about they have a thing where they work with people who send faxes.
You're seriously going to blow up TJ on our podcast?
Yes, I am because he's not going to watch this anyway.
He might. This will be the only one.
Probably.
Oh, my buddy Bill. Keep watching. Hi, buddy.
You're going to laugh when you hear this, okay? So, does that sound logical to you that I should have to buy a new phone to send a message, text or pictures and stuff.
No, he should just download a fucking app.
Yeah, it takes 5 seconds. I had to promise him I'll play Terraria with him a couple times. Just
play what?
It's a game. Don't worry about it. It's a game. So anyway, he's talking about. And then he was a couple minutes later. He was talking about at work how they still work with companies that send faxes, and they have a converter system that sends that takes the faxes and converts them to email, and it just shows up as an email. Okay. So I'm like, wait a second.
Do you need an app for that?
No, yeah. And I was like, wait a second, TJ. You're telling me your business uses an app to communicate with its businesses rather than telling the business to go buy internet and send emails like a normal fucking person? Oh,
I'm sure that lit his ass.
Oh my god. Max was sitting there. We were at Denny's last night. Max was like, oh my fucking god. Oh, it is just like, and TJ just like, I'm like, he goes, damn, I'm an asshole. I'm like, that's exactly what you sound like. He's like,
such a dick.
Oh man.
Oh, TJ, if you're watching this, I still want you to bring that bike over and swing.
Is that not like the funniest thing ever?
Oh my god. Talk about hypocritical.
All right.
Fuck.
See you, internet.
Live long and prosper, internet. Peace.